What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Great Nimbus Debates podcast. We go over a vague or not so vague thing in Dragon Ball. We debate what the possible real answer is. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So, first and foremost, you guys know the deal. We're gonna do our intros. So, name, announcements, socials, and Brock came up with the brilliant question of who is our favorite Tournament of Power character. So, I am SquallGND, gamer, podcaster, anime enthusiast, all that good stuff. Got the link tree. Link tree should be in my bio description, wherever you're watching from. Other than that, no real new announcements. Let's see, there's so many different decks to make. I can't decide on what deck to make for a video on Pokemon TCG. Other than that, I don't really have any new announcements, to be honest. No new videos I'm working on. Still deciding on what to make a video on. Let's see. Favorite Tournament of Power character? I'll have to go with Dispo. Dispo was like the only one somewhat unique enough to actually remember in the Tournament of Power. Besides like Jiren. And then Topo just looks like Mr. Eggman to me. So, other than that, yeah.
From Sonic.
Yeah.
Mister.
That's
What?
Dr. Eggman to you.
Doctor.
Whatever. Same shit.
Dr.
That's-
Robotnik.
Miss my wife tails.
That's Mr. Dr. Professor Eggman to you.
Mhm,
Alright.
mhm.
Mr. Brock over there, Mr. Shiny Teeth and me and first, then Seven Ninja, and then Hunter for last.
Right. Here's me right here, Brock Strat 55. We do a lot of Pokemon content over here. I do on Thursdays. I have a lot of Soul Link stuff that I'm uploading that Squall and I do together on his channel. So that's a lot of fun. And yeah, I took a week off of doing any uploads. I'm probably gonna get back to it here soon. And for my favorite, I actually had two guys that I liked a lot from the Tournament of Power. The first one was Ganos. He was pretty cool. He had a little bit of goings on even before the tournament started as kind of like the spy guy. And then he also had that cool kind of like Ganos is his name.
Yeah. Was the
He's
first
the
one
guy, yeah, he's the guy that turned into like had a bird transformation and fought against Master Roshi.
Okay.
And then the other one is Ketopestra. I thought it was kind of cool that he had like the Power Ranger. Well, not really a Power Ranger. I don't know how to describe it, but he had like the different modes, and each mode kind of gave him a more.
Yeah, that was a nod to an
different-
old school anime. I don't
different
remember
power.
the name
You
of
talking
it.
about that guy beating down the Vegeta?
Yeah.
Yeah, when Vegeta
They were
like
fighting.
stopped doing everything.
He
'cause he
turned
wanted
blue,
to-
and then he turned red, and then he turned yellow, and each kind of different
Yeah.
one had a different power. So those
He
were always
deserved
kind of
it.
fun. But yeah, Brock got 55, so go ahead and pick me up if you want.
That moment was so funny, bro. He thought he was gonna really do something. Try to go Ultra Instinct. And just BAM! BAM! BAM!
Alright, it's me. Alright, I'm 7 into 7. You can find me at Game Joe Mew and Rumple. And I dropped a new anime called not a new anime. I dropped a new anime review called Campfire Campfire Cooking in Another World. with my OP skill. Anyway, it's the real view of that. I think you guys will like it. It's been very fun. I think Squall and Brockstrap might like it if they like this delicious and dungeon. It's not on the same level, but it's pretty good, I'll say. So, campfire cooking in another world view. Look it up, Rumble, or look up the show. It's pretty good. I liked it. Anyway,
I got the
favorite. What?
There we go. This is the video he's talking about. Here's his video review. We all check
Alright,
our homie out. What's up, DT Dub? Welcome in, Bulldozer.
I watched it
Right.
earlier today while you were live, Ninja.
Appreciate it. Now, favorite character. I think you said favorite character that we didn't know about before. Honestly, Ganos is probably going to be my favorite on the basis of the fact that Roshi was able to shine. We haven't seen Roshi really do much in a long time. So seeing Roshi do something so monumental and so impactful, literally he could have died and that would have been, I don't know how Goku would have been affected by that. We might have seen Super Saiyan God 3, you know, as far as we know. But,
Goku
seeing
would have
him...
went Ultra Ego.
Then there's Pilina and Sunel, the Piccolo looking dudes and the Mechans. I like them on the basis of like we got to see other Namekians, you know, and
Right.
it has brought up a question in my mind though. We can talk about this later, but like, could they just not have the Dragon Balls wish them apart? You know, I've always wondered that, but you know, those guys would come up to me as well because they help Gohan commit to, you know, finishing the job, and it kind of shakes them a little bit, but it helps because like they are both fighting for the same thing. So yeah, that's for me. Goku's a bad dad.
Terrible. Worst.
Obama.
The worst.
Get in there, Vegeta.
Alright, I'm back. I was putting a shirt on. Is it my turn yet?
Yep.
Yeah.
Alright, everybody. Y'all already know Secret Code Sauce, the most handsome man on the podcast. You can find me on TikTok at Hunter on Tik. You can find me on Rumble. I don't know my name on there. And you can find an account for me on Twitch, but like,
It's the
fuck
ugliest
Twitch.
guy on the podcast. That's your name on Rumble.
Yeah? I don't remember putting it as that. I'll have to double check. I'm calling fake news. Fake news. Fake news. What? Okay, so yeah, my favorite character that was introduced in the Tournament of Power. I'm gonna go with the correct answer here, which is Hellas, that god of destruction with like she was really hot and she was like a Egyptian looking chick, and I might have masturbated to her a few times.
Yep. Yep. That's why. I understand.
Yeah. Harley Quinn Angel. Who is? Oh, cause the pigtails. I get you, Bulldozer.
Quinn Tournament of Power. Yeah, I'm trying to remember who that was myself.
It was the angel over
The Egyptian.
Jiren's. Oh, Hellas? Yeah, the Egyptian chick, man. The hottest chick Dragon Ball ever produced, ever.
She was Universe 11 Angel, right? I think 11 was the Pride Troopers.
I don't know, but Vados looks pretty hot though. Vados kind of got it, bro.
Vados, have you seen her outfit? That chick looks like she's from the Victorian era.
She doesn't have to show skin to already know she's got it going on. Okay, she's got it.
Dude.
She don't even need the show thing. It's obvious, bro.
Vados.
All right, whatever. You let your imagination run wild. I want to see the tummy. Okay? I want to see as much as possible. And I did. And that Egyptian goddess chick, Hellas, she is the one. Okay? She's my waifu.
Never mind. I'll look it up later. All right, well, that's everybody. Make sure y'all hit them with some follows. Without further ado, let's get into the first segment. All right.
Y'all be
welcome back,
listening to
everyone.
the super chat.
First topic is my topic. Let's debate about. You guys gave me a good idea. Is Kaioken a technique or a transformation? So, Hunter, since you went last, you can go first this time.
All right. I'll go first, but we're going to have to kind of change up the order because it's Squall and Brock is of the same team and Ninja is on my team. So Brock's going to have to go after me. But I'm going to keep my argument short, simple, nothing but facts and straight to the point. And it's going to debunk everything right out the fucking gate. First of all, Kaioken. What happens? What is the effect when Kaioken happens? Well, he gets a new aura, his body looks different, and he gets a buff. And what does he do to perform this? He charges up his fucking energy the same way he does Super Saiyan. So I'm going with transformation, which is the correct answer. That's my closing argument.
When did he charge up to obtain the transformation?
Probably when he hunched over looking constipated and said, Kaioken times 1! Ah!
Does he ever go, Super Saiyan times 1?
Yeah, all the time.
No,
Almost
to me
every
it
time
sounds
he
like he
introduces
always
it to someone.
says what technique he's going to use before he uses the technique that he's yelling out.
Technique.
Kamehameha, solar flare, fucking every technique that he always ever uses, he's saying the name for.
Every time he introduces Super Saiyan to a new fucking enemies, this is what's known as a Super Saiyan 1. And this is what's known as an Ascended Super Saiyan.
But he doesn't say it every
Saiyan
single
2.
time he ever
And
uses it.
Is to go even further beyond.
That's him saying, hey, this is what I can do. Right? Alright, here. Perfect example. Kaioken while Super Saiyan Blue. So is it a whole brand new transformation, or does he use the technique Kaioken while he's in the transformation Super Saiyan Blue?
No, he's using a transformation Kaioken on top of a transformation Super Saiyan Blue.
I don't know about that one.
Water's wet.
I can tell. I can tell you don't know about it. Because you're calling a transformation.
Hey,
It's
here,
technique.
actually, I just got distracted by my wife, so I really didn't even hear what you were talking.
It's okay, it wasn't anything nice.
I'm sure it wasn't.
All right.
Seven Ninja, what's your argument?
I'm gonna have to betray you, Cold Sauce, because he brought up something that I already was gonna say.
Oh, my heart has shattered into a million pieces.
So you can have Squall. Listen, before, like, let's be honest here. Kaioken is something that anyone could really use. Yes, the color of his ki changes, but that is not indicative of a transformation outright. On the basis of, like, he could put it on Super Saiyan God Blue. Like, he was able to do that. He wasn't able to do it because of Super Saiyan, because of the energy that Super Saiyan requires. But God Ki is almost is a separate key on its own, and it's calmer, which means he can focus more on that. And so it's kind of like we're looking at a technique. I would argue that UI, Ultra Instinct, is a technique. He has a mastered form, which we could call that to be a transformation, or in some form of way I'll go with Super Saiyan form for that. But I would argue that both of those were techniques, and then we've never seen a Kaioken master form. So both of those to me are techniques. Until, go ahead, Brock. I feel like you got something to say.
Oh no, I was agreeing.
Isn't a technique something you master?
He has we've seen the Omen form, right? When he's got the black hair. This is even in the Moro arc. He's got the black form, and then he's got the white hair form we saw in the Tournament of Power. So there's two different forms of it. Now, they call it Omen, or I've seen it called Omen, but I know that he's been in UI without the white hair in the later arc.
And if you're going off of that thought process there, Cold Sauce, like, they mastered Super Saiyan in the time chamber before coming out. Goku and Gohan, they weren't exerting any energy, so like, if you mastered a technique, then you could also say they, like, with that logic, call Super Saiyan a technique, which it's not. I'll agree with you there.
Thank you, Brock.
Yeah, it's you can master anything, I guess, technically, if you, well, I don't know, maybe master, but if you just go at it for a while.
I've become a master by going at it for a while.
Oh my god. Stop. Alright, Brock, destroy him. After you already have.
I thought I already gave my whole thing. It's a technique, right? So like the technique comes at the cost. So like if you go Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 or whatever, like you run out of energy, you deplete your stamina, but it doesn't technically damage you, do damage to your body as a like. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by Bulldozer over here. It doesn't do the damage to your body, right? You just run out of energy that sustains the transformation. Whereas, like the technique, Goku, the Kaioken came at a cost, right? Like nothing like you see any of the transformations that he actually goes through due to him. The whole entire day after he went Super Saiyan Blue, Kaioken against Hit, right? The whole following day, his energy was way out of whack. He couldn't even do anything. So, like, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of. Just everything about it doesn't scream transformation to me. It seems like it's, especially like I said, pairing it with Blue, it just seemed like it's something that he added on to a transformation through a technique, not like a whole new transformation itself. And I'm pretty sure he even went on to like explain that at some point. And if it's a technique, like if it's a transformation, I don't know any of the humans, right, that have transformations really between like Krillin or Tien or Yamcha, but like
Tien does. He's got that four-arm mode.
How do you mean? I mean technically, yeah. Some people, I think he actually had a name for that too. It might have been a technique, but
arm, some shit like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but right, but like if they learned Kaioken to a degree, I'm sure they could. It's a technique that was taught by King Kai, so I'm sure they could probably learn it as well. And it's not a transformation again. And I don't know. I can't remember exactly how they amplified it from like ×1 or ×2 or ×20 or whatever. I'm sure he learned it off screen, right? Like that was the whole thing. They didn't want to they didn't want to show it off until he got to Earth and then beat Nappa with it. But I don't know how it's amplified between the stages, but I'm sure that like any Earthling could probably learn that. I'm surprised I never did. Was the Piccolo and Krillin, or not Krillin, Yamcha and Tien, were they all there on King Kai's like canon? Or was that just like a little filler thing?
I'm pretty sure they were there canonically. So they had to. That's how they wished Piccolo back, because they were talking to the Earthlings on Namek through King Kai, and Piccolo.
Right. So yeah, if they were all there, like I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't have learned it, but they could have. I don't know. Right. I still think it's a technique.
I'm gonna step in right here.
Hold up.
Oh shit!
We just got a raid from Charm City. What's up, Charm City?
What,
Thanks for the raid,
what?
broski. Everyone watching,
Oh,
please
word?
check out the homie. I didn't even know
It's
you were.
the city
fucking
of charming
right now.
fellows.
Thanks, broski. Appreciate that.
Fucking and shout out to Bulldozer, his new job. He's a master senator.
That was autocorrect. He's a masturbator. He's a masturbator. I mean, master
You,
debater.
sir, are
sorry.
a cunning legalist, but I am a master debater. That is from Austin Powers.
Ah, yes. So,
I see you.
anyway, for one, I don't understand y'all logic behind if anyone can learn it, then it can't be a transformation. But we'll put that on the back burner for right now. Whenever, like, do we all agree that when Vegeta and Trunks were doing the whole Ascended Saiyan thing, that when they got that strength buff to sacrifice the speed and their muscles got bigger, okay? That's a transformation or a technique?
I'm wanting
Nobody
to
was
say
calling that a
on
technique,
this
right?
one. I'm wanting to
So
say it's a
those were
technique.
Different.
Because
grades
here's the thing. The reason I
of
bring it
the
up,
original
the reason I
transformation.
bring that up is because Roshi does the same thing when Frieza comes back to Earth in Dragon Ball Super. He goes buff, he gets a huge strength buff, and his speed going down doesn't really matter because those Frieza guys suck.
I don't know. I feel like for Roshi, that could be called a technique. But for the Ascended Super Saiyan thing, no,
It was
yeah,
different grades
like-
of the transformation. So, like, grade
yeah.
4 would be technically Super Saiyan 2. Goku broke all of that down when he came out, didn't he?
Super Saiyan Grade 1 was the
I feel like
original
that's
Super
unique.
Saiyan Goku used against Frieza. Grade 2 was the one Vegeta came out against Semi-Perfect Cell. And Grade 3 was the one Trunks got even buffer and slower against Perfect Cell. And then Grade 4 is what Gohan and Goku had when they were like straight up like not using any stamina and staying in Super Saiyan. And then Super Saiyan 2 is like separate from the grades. It's like higher than all
Oh,
of them.
really? Okay.
Uh-huh. Unless they changed
So
it.
it's part of a transformation.
Yeah.
I would call it a transformational technique. That's what I feel like it is.
'Cause I made a
in
video
between
on
now
it.
there-
we're just mixing things.
I made
So,
a video on
okay,
it. And
then okay. I like
me.
where we're going
For
with this
me.
old sauce.
So doesn't that make, by Ninja's logic that you just co-signed, doesn't that make Kaioken a transformational
Was
technique?
that the next step in a transformation, or was that because he didn't use Kaioken with Super Saiyan? He didn't use it with. Those are progressive stages of a transformation, whereas it was a technique. Kaioken was used along with
Ow!
Super Saiyan Blue.
The hell,
Yeah.
Squall just force pushed me. Why would you do that?
He's talking about.
I wasn't sure if he put his
Sticking
hand
your
up
hand
for me to like
Yeah.
shut up or something. I know I kind of went off, but
No, he does that for his green screen.
Yeah, my camera was.
Well, it is May the 4th.
That's true, dude.
Anthony
May the
Vaughn.
4th be with y'all. So yeah, I mean, what happens during the Kaioken is your body transforms into a stronger, amplified version of your body. So I'm sticking to transformation.
Yeah, my argument
Squall,
is.
you.
I actually agree with Hunter here. Like I'm like thinking that it's a transformation this whole time. You know, like people say like a transformation is a physical difference and that like a technique is something you learn. Like Kaioken is technically something you learn, but also Super Saiyan is also something you can technically learn as long as you're a Saiyan. Like Goku taught what's his name?
Vegeta taught Kale.
Vegeta taught Kaba. Kaba taught Kale. And then Goku
Those are all
taught Kale
Saiyans,
Super
though.
Saiyan 2. Yeah, exactly. You can
those are
technically-
all race-specific transformations.
Are you just gonna completely ignore the fact that Hercule went Super Saiyan?
He did. In the silly little Dragon Ball
that's
Super. What
so,
was
yeah.
it, like episode 2 or 3?
Well,
No,
that's
no.
funny.
When he was telling everybody that he got rid of Beerus.
Well,
That's
that's
crazy.
my argument. Like, you can learn a transformation as well as a technique as long as you're a Saiyan. You know.
All right.
Look,
hold
you
on.
can learn the Super Saiyan
The Super
transformation.
The
as long
Super
as you're a
Saiyan
fan.
is a transformation. The Super Saiyan is a transformation. Clear as day, it is. Right. But the thing is that Kaioken can be used with Super Saiyan Blue.
Mhm.
Right. That's a technique. That's a pure technique. We haven't seen
Not a whole
him
brand new
necessarily
transformation.
use. Yeah. It's like he added something to himself by using Kaioken. It's not something that he could just do all the time. Like UI is a technique until he goes to his white hair. Then we could maybe say he added Super Saiyan Blue to that, or he went into a Super Saiyan Blue state. But UI itself is a technique.
What
You get what I'm saying?
negates
It's the same
the
thing.
possibility of using two transformations at once?
I mean,
They haven't done it for one's higher than the. I mean, the only way you could maybe do something like a hybrid of that is you've got Super Saiyan God, which is not a base form, but kind of is. And then you have the Super Saiyan Blue, which would be the Super Saiyan version of Super Saiyan God.
yeah. So
That's the
isn't
only
that-
thing that could be kind of doubling up.
Isn't that two
but that wouldn't be a
transformations?
technique.
It's different kinds of key. You have the divine key, and then you have the regular mortal key.
So
Right.
it's,
And Kaioken is Kai Ki.
So what is the transformation?
When your body transforms and
doesn't know
gets a
Kai.
buff, which is what Kaioken does to you.
So it's what were you saying, Ninja?
Shin doesn't know Divine Key. They were able to sense. If I'm not mistaken, when we're thinking about the Boo arc, the Shin Key was sensible by Piccolo. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if he was, then he doesn't have Divine Key, but he's supposed to be a god. So Kaioken could be very similar in the sense that it's just regular Key. It's not
Does
pure
Kaioken
divine.
use key at all, or because I know
You
transformation
would
are
have
like
to use stamina.
key manipulation, right? It is basically like the basis of all Dragon Ball technique, transformation, whatever. So like, where a transformation, right, is like a literal your body changes, where it's your key gets used differently, and then I think with like it's just
Well,
the
that's-
natural. It's just a body buff, like your speed increases, like all that with Kaioken, right? That's all like. Is that also key manipulation to get your body buffed up, or is that just like?
Well,
I can't remember
what
exactly
we
how,
see-
because it was explained as a technique by Kaioken or by the King Kai.
North God.
I thought.
Yeah. So the thing is, I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'll start then. I want to use this because I noticed that they do this in the games. Kaioken uses stamina. It doesn't use ki. And so like I feel like that has to play into something. I've always thought that they were connected, but now that I think about it, like
I remember what I was gonna
again,
say.
it's like he's not like it's not like he's going to a new level and he's stuck there. We're talking about something that is he can only do it for a short time. He's not really he can't stay there. It's just a power boost. It's a short power boost. It's not something that he can stay in. I think it's
Yeah,
like
it's not sustainable.
if we're
It
going
says
with,
this is it's energy
So
multiplication.
before I forget
not
again,
Kai manipulation.
Whis explained the Super Saiyan transformation as a potent form of transformation instead of a biological transformation. So what Brockstrap was saying earlier, how like your body itself doesn't actually change, making it not a it's just a potent transformation. Now, I've always been under the assumption that since it was a Kai ability, that it was using Kai Ki, or what we now know as God Ki, as a transformation, a potent transformation similar to Super Saiyan. But obviously that can't be the case because you wouldn't be able to stack it on top of Super Saiyan Blue. But the fact of the matter is, it encases your body in a red aura of Ki, and it gives you a buff. It's a potent transformation, and it just comes with a sacrifice for that buff, unlike the Super Saiyan transformation, which still makes sense to me because the Super Saiyan transformation is built into Saiyan DNA. It's not something that you learn from an outside source that you're essentially borrowing from someone else.
Is my turn? Did you finish your point?
Yeah, that's my point.
Alright, so I got a question for you guys. If we're saying like physical changes, right, no, that's not my question. Is the God transformation a technique or a transformation? So Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. Is that a technique or a transformation to you, Seven Ninja and Brockstrap?
To me, they're both transformations. They're both transformations.
Well, it's weird because I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was thinking it was weird because like the way that God form was achieved is it wasn't really through his own efforts. It was something that happened to him by other Saiyans, right? Which he could then achieve later. So I
Goku
guess like
did it, but Vegeta did it all on his own.
So
I guess to that degree, it was God form was a transformation, just on its like being able to achieve that form again. His body got slimmer. He had divine ki. It gave him kind of a red. It's almost funny how similar that God form looked to Kaioken initially to me, but
so Super Saiyan Blue compared to regular Super Saiyan, there's no real physical changes other than his hair is blue instead of blonde,
and the aura color around him,
and the aura color.
But it's a different kind of key, right? It's this he's tapping into the divine versus it's the manipulation and control that he has over it versus Super Saiyan being more of like a rage induced like expelling.
But we learned while Vegeta was training with Whis that he's not taking ki from something else. He's not taking divine ki. He's using what's within him. He's just controlling it, suppressing it within to his body. That was the big thing that they focused on.
Hang on, Hunter, I'm cooking something up right now. So,
okay,
I agree with everything you're saying, Brockstrap, about the whole like Super Saiyan Blue thing. So we take that logic about the Kai energy or God energy, and same thing with base form and Kaioken. It's Kai energy, and there's no real differences between them, between Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan Blue and base form and Kaioken, other than aura changed and a slightly different like color of Goku's hair. So it like between those two, Super Saiyan Blue is still a transformation. Like I'm using that logic as Kaioken is also a transformation with different different energy.
Then why doesn't he use Super Saiyan?
Fire sound.
Why doesn't he use?
Hang on, you can go after Seven Ninja. Seven Ninja had something too.
Yeah.
I did just remember that like here's the problem with Kaioken being a transformation. If I remember correctly, it's not divine ki. It's just his own. Like he's not like what's the word I'm looking for? Because if that was the case, he would have already known how to use divine ki, which means he would have already been in some form of Super Saiyan God beforehand. If that was the case, it's his own energy. It has to be a technique that he learned from King Kai.
Okay, but
It would
not
have to be.
exactly. Because we did learn in the Buu saga that the Kais, their energy isn't ki, it's a magic. And Kai magic and Majin magic don't work on each other. So it's basically a magic transformation.
Which one?
The Kaioken.
There's also this other idea, which I'm thinking of Future Trunks from the Goku Black Arc, when he gets the Spirit Bomb Ki energy. Now he gains a different Ki energy. He's got Super Saiyan, but he's gaining a new bluish aura to him. By that logic, that's a transformation.
Future Trunks.
But we wouldn't call the Future Trunks thing when he gets the Spirit Bomb on his sword.
Is that named?
By that logic, I don't know.
Because it resembled
where it is.
It resembled the false Super Saiyan from, what was it, the Lord Slug movie? So I just called it False God Transformation.
A lot of people just call that false Super Saiyan.
No, I'm talking about when Trunks did it.
Oh.
The Lord Slug?
Oh.
No.
He's using that logic for Trunks' transformation.
The movies aren't canon. Not at that
I
point.
mean, it's like, to me, it's just like it's not a transformation because he's not in a god state. He just got a huge amplifier. So in a formal way, this Spirit Bomb coming down and he absorbs it, that's a technique. It's adding to his original power, but it is not outright changing him like he becoming a Super Saiyan 3 or a Super Saiyan God. So it has to be a technique by that logic, which is the same way Kaioken
Well, then
works with
that
Super Saiyan
logic
Blue.
is flawed because you said he did it by absorbing energy from the Spirit Bomb. Well, that's how Goku achieved Super Saiyan God transformation the first time. He absorbed outside ki energy from other Saiyans.
I was talking about all the ones up to I think the Battle of the Gods. The Battle of the Gods was the first canon movie. Yeah.
There's a difference, though, between getting a red-haired transformation that actually changes him in a way, versus him getting an amplifier, which is that blue energy. There's a gigantic difference between those two.
What's the gigantic
that blue
difference?
energy on Trunks, if that blue energy on Trunks were to have turned him into at least a Super Saiyan God, it would have been a transformation. All it did was amplify his original power. In the same way, Goku has a very similar thing. He's got Super Saiyan Blue, and then he pops Kaioken. Now, again, if it was a transformation, he would have outright changed to a different hair color. This has been something consistent everything with Dragon. If it's going to be a transformation, it outright changes his hair. So that means that Kaioken and the blue, we're gonna go with God energy or Spirit Ball energy, is an amplifier. It's a technique.
I mean, 1, 2, and 3 all had the same yellow hair. Unless we're talking like...
Well,
I'm talking about the blue energy he got from
different.
that sword.
But at the same time, Ninja, the Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan God is that baby blue colored aura. And it's the strongest version of a Super Saiyan transformation. And so when you amplify with a shit ton of ki from a Spirit Bomb when you graft it onto Super Saiyan, you're buffing that Super Saiyan transformation so much, and then what did we see? We see this baby blue aura teasing around his yellow aura. So wouldn't that indicate that he's just tapping into Super Saiyan God through stolen energy?
Alright. I'm gonna read an excerpt from Grok, if that's fine. Now, I know AI is only based off of information that we obtain collectively as humans, but Kaioken is not a transformation, but a technique. Unlike transformations, e.g. Super Saiyan, which alter the user's physical form and permanently shift their power level, Kaioken is a temporary key amplification ability that multiplies the user's current power, speed, and strength by a chosen factor, times 2 times 10. It doesn't change the user's physical appearance beyond the red aura and signs of strain, but can be deactivated at will, which I guess transformations also can, to be fair. However, it places immense physical stress on the body, unlike most transformations, which typically enhance durability. So it's saying key amplification instead of manipulation, which manipulation would
But
be...
it also says that a transformation has permanent effects on the body, which it obviously doesn't, because we've seen
permanently
plenty
shift while
transformations.
they're in that form.
Right. And while Goku is in Kaioken times 4, he's permanently 4 times stronger than he normally is until the Kaioken is turned off.
Yeah, I have one problem with that, with Grok's logic there, because like I remember, like it's not just times 4. It's also like as long as he's in that form, it's like a power increase. Because like when he hit Kaioken against like Captain Ginyu was like, all right, let me see your real power, and then he goes all the way up to like what 180,000 power level, something like that. And then like Goku was like, yeah, this is nothing compared to what I can do in short bursts. So like while using Kaioken, it has a base stat increase, and then like when he goes in short bursts, it's even higher than that, you know.
I'm gonna go ahead and share because I'm trying to be kind of antagonistic to Grok. So this is right here is Kaioken transformation. That's what I asked it, and then I read off what it answered. So now it's saying, who explains that it is a technique instead of a transformation? And it says right here, King Kai, around episodes 21 to 23 in the anime, or chapters 226 to 227 in the manga, he describes it as a method to multiply key output, emphasizing its controlled temporary nature. So anyway, blah blah blah. But right up there, because I asked it, all right, well, if it's not a transformation, then who explains that it's a technique? And that it's giving me a clear-cut answer right here.
And then it explains everything that a transformation does.
Here, temporary nature of the physical strain it causes, distinguishing it from transformations like the Saiyan forms that emerge later. No single character explicitly contrasts it with transformations, but King Kai's explanation of Goku's usage clarify it's a function as a technique.
Hey, that all sounds fine and dandy, but you could also use those words to explain. Hey, that's my chat.
Transformations.
Don't call it baby.
Yo, put his chat on blast.
Let's see.
What, Ninja?
You
You'll
can
put his
also
chat on blast like that? That's crazy.
Oh, that's my bad. I forgot that I even had it still streaming.
Yeah, you could also use all those words to explain a transformation as well. Be honest.
Well, I mean, that's fine, and we can argue that, but I'm just saying, like, straight from the source, from the guy who's saying it himself, that's teaching and saying, hey, this is a technique, go ahead and use it, not like hey, this is a transformation, go ahead and use it. Like, I'm using the words from the guy, right?
I hear you.
People are gonna say that Brockstrap and Ninja are just taking the side of technique on purpose, because if Squall and Hunter is agreeing on something, it's fucking gotta be unanimous.
So, okay, here, I'll use what you asked me earlier.
The wrong
You asked earlier, why is it not a possibility to use two transformations at the same time? All right, cool. Why didn't they do that before then? Like, if they could have, if it's a possibility, I don't see anybody ever doing that outside of...
How many
like, they
people
use
have more than one transformations at their disposal?
Let's go to Keto Tesla, right? Like, he had to switch
Who
in
even is
between
that?
each one. The guy I showed earlier from the Tournament of Power one, the one that turned red.
That
and
happened
turned yellow and
after
blue.
Goku breaks out.
Those were all
for it.
different transformations that he couldn't use at the same one time. Instead, what was his purple one? Was that like all of them? I thought he
I don't
turned
know.
purple.
I do know that that was an homage to a really old anime.
I think Goku
The
and
Ultraman?
Vegeta are the only
I don't
ones
know.
that could use two transformations at the same time: Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God, which is Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah.
And that-
And
and
if
then
if
the
they
gold
stack
and
that
blue-
on top of each other, does their hair turn green?
I thought that was them stacked on top of each other, Super Saiyan Blue.
It is. Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God. No, Super Saiyan Blue is Super Saiyan God with Super Saiyan.
Oh, there you go.
It is.
And then
So Goku
only-
using
That's
Super
why I said
Saiyan
it's
Blue
like
and
the base
Kaioken
form.
is 3 transformations on top of each other.
yeah, that's
No,
what I
it's
thought
two.
It was.
It's two transformations with a technique.
I mean, my thing is, like, I think that Trunks form with the Spirit Bomb energy is a transformation. I just don't know what it's called, because like we usually call these all forms, like transformations. You know, Kaioken form, Super Saiyan form, Ultra Instinct form. That like to me, that's like we're all using it as thinking of it as a transformation.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
I mean, what it does to the body is that it transforms the body. Like, you can call it a technique as much as you can call Super Saiyan a technique. It's something that has to be performed.
What transformation happened to him on Kaioken ×1 that he used against Nappa?
He got a bunch of fucking red aura. He got a body buff.
What was the body buff? I didn't see
Yeah.
one.
He
I saw
wasn't
one.
reddish.
I saw one at
Not-
20.
No, not
I
like
saw
the
one at
muscles.
20 when
I
he
mean,
was, like,
like a
all
body
puffed up
buff, meaning like his strength, his speed, all of that is buffed. His stat buff, I should have said.
I actually
He wasn't red though when he's fighting Nappa.
He wasn't
He was
red.
only red when
fighting
he started fighting Vegeta.
He was
He didn't need
for
to.
a
I thought that
was-
second.
I thought when you threw him up in the air and did like the little quick thing, he didn't transform. Like it was a short controlled burst of Kaioken that he like kicked them up in the air, then flew up and then knocked them back down. Right? I'm pretty sure I saw that called Kaioken an attack.
Yeah, he did
Or
go
that's how
red
it's
for
been
a split
referenced.
second.
Yeah.
So is Gohan's Elder Kai unlockability a transformation or a technique then?
Potential unlock is it's
I've
considered
only
its
ever-
own thing in Xenoverse and other games, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have it as a state per se.
But in what's it called in the superhero movie, we saw him transform into it.
Right.
That's what Elder Kai gave him, right?
Yeah, that's where he looks
So
basically
that
the
was a
same.
transformation, but the unlocked potential, I mean, you don't see Krillin ever go into that either. I think that's just a permanent like
Yeah.
raise of stats.
No, old
It's not
Kai,
like
old
a- Well, no.
Kai, old Kai, not Guru.
Right. Yeah. Elder Guru, he draws out your
Okay.
potential, but the unlocked potential that Squall's talking about, I've seen it called Mystic Gohan. I don't know if that's from the show or just video game only.
Yeah,
It's been
people
either
call it that
Ultimate
too.
Gohan or Mystic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
I
like
mean,
that
he's-
has to be a transformation though, because like he has to go from Super Saiyan into that.
Well, that's
can't
how
just do
Elder
that
Kai
off-
even told him to turn into it. He's like, it's just like turning Super Saiyan. Is
No,
how it
but
was
there's
explained.
no physical
Or turning
That's a
Kaioken.
difference.
transformation.
There's no physical
Right,
That would
difference.
be a
between-
transformation.
Yeah, but there's no
No,
physical
I
difference.
see what you're saying. That was always weird to me too, Squall. I agree with you on that one. That's a weird one out there.
It's weird, but if that process is needed for him to get to that, that is a transformation. Outright, that's a transformation. Kaioken does not require that in any shape or form. You just do it.
Well, if you just do it, then why is Goku the only one who's just doing it?
Isn't he the only one who learned it in the canon, besides like maybe Chi-Chi?
Right. He was
I
the
mean,
only one that was
Chi-Chi.
taught the technique.
I mean,
Hold on.
there's,
Chi-Chi.
like, apparently Roshi knows it, and apparently Yamcha knows it in video games. The Kaioken. Some video
What?
games. Yeah, there's.
We saw Roshi use it in the show.
No, I've never seen it, but apparently Roshi knows it. Like, it was something that someone brought up on a really old podcast before. I had to look it up.
Video
Apparently
game.
he does.
The only
Logan.
transformation I've seen Yamcha have on a video game was Xenoverse when he got the like.
Oh yeah, when he's all
Silver.
like silver, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's like demon energy or something.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, he
Bully
gets it.
had it
They-
too.
yeah, they get those from Mira.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Also, if we're going, like, I remember we were bringing up a little bit of game logic. Like in most games, the Kaioken is a transformation. Like you use like in Budokai and Tenkaichi, all that stuff. It's usually a transformation. Maybe not
Right.
Tenkaichi.
In fact, I'd also like to add on the topic of video games with Xenoverse, we have like Kaioken is in the transformation slot, but then you also have techniques where you can just press the trigger and one of the buttons and like he'll slap his face or like do a dance and he'll have a brief buff or you know some other effect, which is a technique, but Kaioken is in the transformation slot.
Well, where else would you put it? In a combination?
I feel
Well,
like
if
that's
it's a
more
technique-
of a balance thing. It's
if
like
it's a-
game versus lore kind of thing. I feel like that's purely a balance thing.
Well, yeah, that's
'Cause it's
why
like
I
game
don't
versus
like
lore.
to bring up the video games.
No,
but-
I understand. I understand what you're saying. Like anytime I brought it up, it would be like talking about like what they use because it seems to matter. Like there seems to be a difference between using stamina versus E. Even in the anime, we kind of see that, but like I wasn't really focused on that. Whose turn to speak?
Huh?
I mean, I think it's been decided. I think it's a transformation according to everything we just
It's a
said.
technique.
looks like looks like me
I
and
will
Squall
stand.
win.
On my heel. I will stand on my heel.
Yeah, you are on
I
your
don't care
heel,
to
and
go
you're about to
first.
fall off a cliff. You're gonna die on that hill. It's on that heel.
It's alright.
It's a technique.
All right. Well, I guess
I
we
don't
can go into our final thoughts, final verdicts. But I just want to say real quick, chat, if anyone has a topic for us to debate about, please let us know, and then we'll bring it up on the third segment. So go ahead, final thoughts. Brock, you went last, so you can go first this time.
Again, man, I still think it's something that he used as a technique that he was taught by a guy who said, hey, this is a technique to use. And again, I think it's a technique that he used while already transformed in a transformation. It's just hard to think that it's actually another transformation that he uses along. Didn't change, again, it didn't change his hair in Super Saiyan Blue while he used the technique. And it didn't even really change his hair in the Saiyan Saga when he used the technique. It made his aura red,
It
which
gets
might have
spiky.
looked like
The higher
like
the
it might have tinted the hair a reddish
the higher
color.
the grade, the hair spikes up more.
And that's fine. That could be the aura multiplier, or the. But it's still, I don't know. It's a technique from the guy himself who said, "Hey, here, learn this technique from me." Hard to dispute it straight from the source.
All right, Seven Ninja.
It's a technique. I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about a amplifier of ki. It's the same as Trunks' blue. Both of those are techniques. Let's be real here. If it was a full transformation, this is how it's always been. The hair color changes. It always does. It's not a transformation. It's just an amplifier. He may have had a red aura when he went in Kaioken, but he doesn't have a blue aura naturally. All right, it's a pure technique because when he went Kaioken and Super Saiyan Blue, he had that blue aura and he had that red on the outside. So it's a technique. Yeah, tell us your wrong answer, please. Let us hear it.
Okay,
us
well,
hear it.
first, quick shout out to Ninja for debunking himself because by his own logic, if Mystic Gohan has to be a transformation because he has to go through Super Saiyan 1 first because it has steps to get to it, then Super Saiyan Blue False God fucking Trunks having to make a spirit bomb absorb into him during Super Saiyan is 100% a transformation and not a technique. So
no.
Ninja just proved his own self wrong. And Kaioken transforms you into a stronger version of yourself. So it's a transformation.
I'm going with Kaioken as a transformation. I did like look up a bunch of stuff beforehand. Like a lot of people are saying it's a technique. I don't care what everyone says about it being a technique. You gotta learn it or whatever. Well, guess what? Kale learned Super Saiyan. Kaba learned Super Saiyan through training. Not training. Kaba didn't learn it through training, but Vegeta taught it by making him angry. Like subconsciously taught it to him. And I don't think it's just like a hair color change makes it a transformation. Like Ozaru form is not a hair color change, and it's a transformation.
Thank you, Bill Dozer.
You guys can say it's a technique all you want, but my final verdict is it's a transformation. I've always seen it as a transformation. And yeah, I'm sticking to it. Yeah, I think you wanted to say something, Brock.
With them learning Super Saiyan, was it something they were taught or something they could do already as it was being explained to them how to achieve it?
Kaba taught it to Kale. Like, remember, it's a tingle in your back.
Right, he was saying, hey, this is what I did. It's not like actually showing the technique. It's like something you're able to achieve. This is what you need to do to achieve it.
In order to achieve it.
Yeah.
Not, hey, like, this is how you do something. I will take you step by step by step.
That's
Like,
the steps.
The tingle
You
tingle
feel
in my
the
back.
tingle in your back and you amplify it and you transform.
Something they were already able to achieve. Goku achieved it by raging out, right? The Super Saiyan. Do you
Yep.
think he would have achieved Kaioken by himself like he achieved Super Saiyan?
Well, no, because it's not his key. He's a Saiyan. He doesn't use Kai
Technique
ki
he
or
was
Kai magic.
taught by somebody else from an external factor. Anyway,
The transformation
sorry.
he had to be taught. Yeah.
The point was, Super Saiyan can be taught to other Saiyans. Look, that tingle in your back. Yeah. Other than that, looks like we're at a even split 2-2. Chat, you guys decide who was right and who was wrong. And anyone watching in the future, you guys can comment in the videos or under the streams on what you guys think. NGM Studios, if Kaioken's transformation, why does Goku skip to go Super Saiyan? Kaioken will lead stronger form, right? But he skips to it super every time. I can see that logic, but he can also skip straight into God. He can skip straight into Super Saiyan Blue, straight into Super Saiyan 3.
He skipped right into 3.
Yeah.
No, the way I think it was explained in GM is Super Saiyan is actually a base times 50 multiplier where Kaioken can technically get there, but Super Saiyan doesn't have that drastic drawback negative affecting his body like Kaioken would. So it just makes sense to hit that higher multiplication without the negative drawback. So if somebody would want to say Kaioken would be a transformation, that's why he would skip to the easier, less damaging transformation. Which again, we all know it's a technique. Everybody here agrees.
That it's
called it a transformation.
Yeah.
You just called it a transformation.
I appreciate it, chat.
Yeah. You can't even
appreciate
talk
it.
about it
Agreeing
without
with me.
saying transformation.
And Dozer, I agree with you kind of, but they're different Saiyans. They have different genetics. They're in a different universe. They're going to be different. They evolve to a certain point differently than our Saiyans in 7. Yeah, it's a little. Can I say it on? I can't say it. I can't repeat.
No,
that.
yeah, I saw.
No, not on YouTube.
It's a bundle of sticks.
If we were only on Rumble, I might say it, but we're not.
Yeah. Which, I mean, that is the group of people that feel a tingle in their back a lot. So, especially around a bundle of sticks, like Ninja was saying.
Alright, segment.
Yeah, I'd hate for us to fucking curse on this podcast.
Oh, we're allowed to
I try not
curse.
to.
We're allowed to curse.
I try not to.
Alright, well, let's see. Alright. So I think Brockstrap is bringing up his topic. He's looking for it now. But in the meantime, I'm gonna remind you guys to send us your topics, and then we're gonna debate about one of your guys' topics at the end.
Yeah. We'll do that. So, Brock, you want to keep looking for that while I'm pretty sure we're gonna go through mine pretty quickly.
Bill Dozer, we did that. We did that that topic already. He said Vegeta or Frieza for the next God of Destruction.
Oh yeah.
Damn, bro. That's a good option. I mean, there was like I did like
Yeah,
a
we
full
had
on
that
research
debate.
on that one. Like I even asked that question on Reddit, like who would make the next best God of Destruction, and some guy actually commented Piccolo, like, just because he has the best sense of
was me.
responsibility. That was you.
No, but I wish I could take credit for it because I definitely would rather see Piccolo than Vegeta or Frieza as the God of Destruction. But anyway, so my topic, pretty simple. I'm pretty sure we're gonna blast through it. We see Beerus taking these long ass 30-year naps and shit like that, and you know when he wakes up the first time we ever see him, he says that 30 years is little more than a cat nap. And it makes me wonder, like, why the fuck is he doing this? And then we get to the Tournament of Power, and we see Whis talking about Ultra Instinct, saying that even Lord Beerus hasn't mastered this transformation. And so I'm thinking, based on what we see, yeah, like a bundle of sticks, I just shove it in my mouth. But what we see, based on what we know about Ultra Instinct, is that you have to have your body in a relaxed form before it can move on its own instinctively. And so I'm thinking that Beerus has already mastered Ultra Ego. That's why he's teaching it to Vegeta. And now part of his training to master Ultra Instinct is to teach his body how to relax, which is why he's been taking these huge long naps. And also I want to add, we see during Vegeta and Goku's training with Whis, part of that is to change Beerus's bed sheets and stuff without waking up Beerus. You don't want to disturb his relaxation, and he needs the best relaxation, which is why he's getting his sheets changed all the time. So I'm of the assumption sleeping is part of Beerus's training for Ultra Instinct. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I think he's just lazy. He comes off very lazy.
What is it, like National Disagree with Hunter Day? The fuck?
I mean, he doesn't really... He can be serious, but he seems to not care about his stuff a lot. He seems very indifferent, doesn't really feel the need to act a lot of times. And so, honestly, I just think he's just lazy. I could see the idea, I'll keep going. I could see the idea of him needing to, once he gets so still, like he gets sleepy. I mean, I'll talk about myself. If I get bored enough about something, especially if I've got nothing else to do, if I get bored enough, I will start going to sleep. So trying to be still for a long period of time, for him, might just cause him to go to sleep.
Fuck you too, Bulldozer. What the fuck? That's
I'm all
why he
for
was
it.
up
I'm
in
all
there
for it.
saying it's a technique. Because it was me saying transformation. Okay, so that's what you got, Ninja?
I can see the logic behind that's possibly a training method to learn Ultra Instinct. Yeah, I just figured he's a cat, so cats nap all the damn time, so that's why he's always napping.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Toriyama using stereotypes too.
All right, Brockstrap.
What are Champa's mannerisms? Because they're brothers, right? Essentially.
Yeah.
Like
Well, we don't really
brothers.
know if he's always sleeping. Well, we know he's not always sleeping because he was fucking gathering those Dragon Balls while Beerus was sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I mean, if he has a reason to stay up, Oh no, I thought wasn't he in trouble anyway by actually Whis for just sleeping and being lazy? Like I figure if it were a way to actually obtain the new transformation or be better at it, like he wouldn't catch as much flack from Whis as he does about sleeping.
Okay. I mean, I don't remember.
Plus, we should just smack him beside the head.
I don't remember we scolding him specifically. I'm not gonna say he didn't. But also, since we're all of the assumption since y'all are all of the assumption that Beerus is just lazy and likes to sleep, I'm gonna bring us back to what I mentioned earlier. We said that Beerus is training to learn Ultra Instinct, and if that's the case, what training is he doing if he's only sleeping until he wakes up for something important?
And then there's also the fact that like he's the strongest god of destruction, and he's doing nothing but sleeping all the time. So how is he the strongest if he's also the laziest?
Goku sleep to learn Ultra Instinct.
There we go.
He got put to sleep.
In the manga, he actually learned. He got the inspiration to learn Ultra Instinct by watching Roshi dodge Jiren's punches and shit.
What?
Yeah.
What advice did Whis give to Goku when he was telling Vegeta that Vegeta was too battle ready in that mindset that he was too tense all the time?
You tell us.
He gave Goku the advice, and he's just off it. He doesn't have his guard up enough to the point to where he can be taken out by a beam gun, right? That was the thing. He's too laid back. So if he's trying to also mold Goku to learn the technique at the same time, laziness wouldn't have been, or sleepiness, or letting your guard down wouldn't have been the answer if Whis hadn't corrected him on it.
Right, but that's why I worded it the way I did. I'm not seeing his naps as laziness. I'm seeing his naps as him training his body to become accustomed to a relaxed state.
But wasn't that the whole thing we already corrected Goku on? Was he was too relaxed, to guard down too much? So wouldn't he have that same kind of correction to Whis? Potentially.
Don't highlight that comment. His word means nothing at this point. He's not. He's just trolling me at this point.
What?
Bulldozer. You highlighting Bulldozer's comment? No. No. I mean, if it's
I like Bulldozer.
Part of the Ultra
too.
Instinct. Part of the Ultra Instinct transformation is being in a relaxed state and your body moving instinctually or instinctively. That's why we
Yes.
saw. That's why we saw Vegeta when he wanted to. He just stopped moving. He was trying to relax.
As he was getting swung on. Yes.
Yeah,
But
and then,
Beerus is just sitting there on the bed.
yeah.
There's
Relax.
nothing coming at him. There's nothing going to. But
Good.
but he's got. Again, he's not getting attacked. Vegeta made the active choice to let a guy that's weaker than him attack him. In this way, he would be able to relax enough that he should be able to tap into Ultra Instinct. How are you going to react to something if there's nothing to react to? He's on his bed. Again, if he was training to learn Ultra Instinct, he would have Whis or somebody, constantly causing something for his body to pick up on. All he's doing is sitting inside of his on his bed, sleeping. That tells me he's being lazy.
Okay, but it brings me back to my question: is what is he actually doing to train for Ultra Instinct? Because Whis says he is training to master Ultra Instinct, and the only thing we see him doing is napping.
I definitely think he's training for Ultra Instinct. Like I remember I did look it up when I did like my little video of like who would be the next best God of Destruction. He does have some forms of Ultra Instinct, or some levels of it, not fully mastered, which is what he used when he fought before the Tournament Power started. He fought like 3 or a bunch of different God of Destructions. He used like Ultra Instinct to fight, like to dodge all their shit and stuff. So he knows like some form of it. I just don't think the napping is part of it. I think it like whatever training he did, he either did before Super or did somewhere off screen.
Beerus is the kind of character that he does a lot of things off screen. I feel pretty confident in saying that. Plus, he's really old, so him training, maybe he wore himself out during a fight with Whis, and he decides to sleep. I don't know why Whis is allowing him to sleep that long. He's supposed to be doing his job. That's another thing. And if he did, I think Brock said he was where he was yelling at him about his sleeping or him being lazy. If it was strictly training, I don't think Whis would bother him about it at all. But the fact is, he's not doing his job.
I could see the logic behind napping being like some form of training of Ultra Instinct, being relaxed and stuff. Like I think that's the key difference between Goku learning Ultra Instinct and Vegeta learning Ultra Ego instead, or not being able to learn Ultra Instinct. Because like you said, Hunter, Whis stated that Goku was too laid back, didn't take things seriously enough, which I feel like that's kind of false, because he did train. He does nothing but train up all the way up until Super, and then he said to Vegeta, "You train too much and need to relax a little more," which I can definitely agree. He's always like trying to keep up with Goku, like always doing like training in the gravity chamber, like never taking a day off of training. Yeah, that's my logic behind it.
I can see him falling into sleep, and then he stays asleep for a long time. But I don't know if I could say that he is training when he is asleep. Even the visualization we see with Gohan and Krillin when they're going to Namek would be closer to what Ultra Instinct would require than what Beerus is doing. You can't control a dream unless you're having a astral projection or a lucid dream, and as far as we know, he's just dreaming.
Yeah, it's a tough call. I like the theory, because him attacking people in the middle of his sleep, destroying shit, can't be seen as Ultra Instinct.
So, I mean, are we saying that it certainly could be part of the training, or is there anyone who's saying no, he's just lazy?
Honestly, I'm on the fence. It could go both ways for me. like laziness or training?
I could see it leading. I could see him, again, Hunter, I could see him, he's trying to do it and he falls into it. Again, like I said before, I've had it happen before where like if I get bored enough, I'll fall asleep. I've had it happen many times. So I could see him trying to go into Ultra Instinct, trying to get still, trying to calm down, and that's when he falls asleep. I could see it happen. But as far as it being his training, unless he's just gaining power every day while he's sleeping, I'd argue that's him being lazy. Also, I would also argue that we.
Well, I wouldn't say that
taking
it's
him
the
out of
whole
everything.
training. I just think that it's part of it. Like I said, I think he's trying to train his body to get used to a relaxed state.
Guys in the chat.
I feel that bulldozer. 100%.
I don't know, but there's some guys in the chats that are saying some really good stuff. There's this one guy, he says, man, that Hunter guy is spitting nothing but facts. Fire emoji. Can't help but to agree with him. Another guy says, wow, that Hunter guy is really intelligent. Everything he says is right. Wow, I mean, can't argue with that either. I don't know.
Let me delete those messages real quick.
Fucking hater! What the fuck? Oh, if you do delete it, then Bulldozer will be calling himself gay.
I don't really have any arguments on this topic. I'm not gonna lie.
So you're on the fence. Ninja's on the
Yeah.
fence. I'm on the fence. Brock.
I think he's just lazy. I think it's already been stated. That he was
You fucking
lazy
asshole.
I think if Whis has such a big problem with him sleeping, then it's probably not for training purposes. But it's like you're trying to have me just prove a negative, which I just can't do because, well, we don't know for sure if it. I mean, okay,
I
sure.
guess I do have an argument for that.
Two things could exist at the same time, but not be related, right? Like,
Yeah. But, so one thing that we know about Whis' methods of training is that he doesn't force everyone to do exactly what he needs. When he had Goku and Vegeta training, he let them, like, he just gave them a guideline and let them figure it out on their own. So while he might be scolding Beerus for his methods, he might also be trusting Beerus that Beerus knows Beerus's body better than Whis.
true. I mean, I would say that I know my own body better than Hunter, bro.
Not for long. I'm on my way over there.
Oh.
I'm gonna turn you into a bundle of sticks.
Oh, I just figured out what that. Okay, never mind.
Wait, you're that late on that?
Yeah,
That was a whole segment
no.
ago. Who's hit the sound? Oh,
That's
no.
I wish
I guess I've never heard it technically be referred to as that, but
I
whatever.
haven't heard that since middle school.
I don't know. He's kind of gay to me.
Alright, well, it
final
looks like we
verdicts.
said everything on this.
Final verdicts. If you had to pick one, I mean, Brock, you can give your final verdict if you want, but I believe you gave yours. Final verdicts for everyone. If you have to pick one, what would it be? Start with it's Hunter's topic, so you can choose the order.
I'll go first. I think that it is, well, me, Ninja, Brock, then Squall. I think it is him training for Ultra Instinct, specifically because we said to everyone that Beerus is in the middle of training for it, and the only thing we see Beerus do is nap. So I think that is part of Beerus's training for it. If I have to pick one.
Alright, 7 Ninja.
Alright. I think he's a very lazy cat. I feel like Toriyama will use stereotypes, and cats being lazy is a very normal thing. I understand where Hunter's coming from, and I think it's him trying to go into the state leads to his sleepiness, but I think the fact that he has not told Whis to wake him up once he gets sleepy is a clear indication that he is lazy. So that's me.
Okay.
Alright.
What's up,
He's
Chomper?
been doing this. He's been doing this on repeat too, right? So like, I don't know. I kind of agree with the statement Ninja just said about if he tells Whis not to wake him up. Yeah, that's a pretty clear indication that yeah. If I just sleep, let it happen. And I mean, he's been already around for like a millennia, right? Gods of Destructions are technically immortal, or not immortal, but like they just.
Well,
live
actually, we
forever.
know he's been longer than a millennia,
Right,
according
so,
to
I mean,
Beerus's
he's-
words. So
Right. So I don't know. I mean, what's time to him? I guess is different than what we would perceive it, but maybe because he's such an eternal person that he doesn't view it himself as laziness. But I don't know. To a mere mortal, he seems pretty lazy.
Alright. I really want to justify that this is training, but there's not enough in the show yet to like point that direction. I really like the idea, but if I had to pick one, I'm more leaning toward Beerus is just a lazy cat.
okay. Well, I mean, two people brought up lazy cats, and I'd like to point out, usually the lazy cats are the fat ones. Champa. Usually the active cats are pretty lean and ready to go, like Beerus's body is, but
Oh.
True. Very true. If Beast didn't scold him for being lazy.
It kind of depends on the. If your cat's an inside cat, they may not be able to do much unless they have someone around. They still may not have much to do. So they have a lot to do. I'd argue the cat won't be lazy, or if he has a friend, he won't be lazy. But yeah, he is right on the fat cat thing.
Not sure how many fat farm cats.
And again, I've
out
seen
there.
an active fat cat. I've seen an active fat cat before, so I don't know.
well, yeah, but that cat would probably had diabetes.
Garfield.
Alright. Alright.
Can you eat lasagna if you have diabetes?
Probably, but you'd have to work it off.
I think sugar matters.
A lot of starch.
I think
Well,
sugar is what matters.
noodles are a lot of starch, which diabetics they usually stay away from.
Alright, whose topic is next?
Brockstrap.
Brock's rub, if you have it.
Did transformations ruin Dragon Ball?
Good or do they?
Did I believe you
Do
said?
think?
Do they ruin Dragon Ball?
I'm taking this way back to OG Dragon Ball. There was always kind of a fun story to follow with Goku as he learned, as he got more techniques or thought of different, more unique ways to take out his enemy, to where now it's like, now I'm stronger than you. Take this. I feel like it kind of, not to say Toriyama like made it happen this way, but it seemed like he always had more of the storytelling aspect before Z came out, and when he thought he was done, maybe he was giving, I wouldn't say a lesser product, but a different product than before.
So the topic is, do transformations ruin Dragon Ball?
Sure. We could order it that way.
Okay. You can pick the order of who goes first.
Let's just keep going clockwise. We can go to you first, then hold sauce and ninja.
Squall.
Oh, me? Oh, shit, my bad. I didn't know if
Yeah,
the order of like who's showing is the same on your guys' end or not.
Let me see. Yeah, it's showing the same on mine
Okay, cool.
as it is on your video.
All right, cool. All right, transformations ruined Dragon Ball. You know what? I wouldn't say ruined. Ruined might be a little harsh, but definitely kind of like takes away from like the story for sure. Cause like every time someone new that's way too strong and powerful, for like the characters, I just know a new transformation is gonna come out from somewhere that's gonna like help them like beat whoever. Like once like Super Saiyan came out, awesome, great, awesome. Super Saiyan 2, also awesome, like everything's great. Like I didn't expect it, you know. I didn't expect Super Saiyan 2. I didn't expect Super Saiyan 1. Saga comes around. Alright, what's the next one? Super Saiyan 3. Okay. Alright, Mr. Gohan. Okay. Oh, we got fusions. Alright. I wouldn't really count that as a transformation per se.
But the transformation on the game.
No, it's not.
And,
It's a technique.
yeah,
No, it's in the transformation. It's a transformation button.
It's an item. It's an item. the Batara earrings. And then like beyond that, like now we got Super Saiyan God. I'm like, okay, what's the next one after that? Can they go Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan God? Oh yeah, they can. Super Saiyan Blue.
Vegeta can.
All right. What's the next transformation after that? You know, it's like Jiren's appeared. What's the next transformation? Oh, Goku Black. Okay, they went Super Saiyan Blue with Vegeta. Okay. Oh, now Trunks has a new. Hang on, let me be like Hunter. Transformation.
Technique.
Yeah, but then yeah, basically anything besides that, it's just all the transformations, you know. I'm expecting another transformation above Ultra Instinct, above Ultra Ego, above Beast Gohan, above Orange Piccolo to like help them get further. Probably Broly's got some sort of like his own Super Saiyan God
Legendary,
transformation,
yeah.
you know. That's higher than Ultra Instinct or something, you know. So yeah, it's just like it's getting kind of repetitive. I'm not saying it's gonna ruin. It's definitely nothing can ruin Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball is the GOAT of all anime. But it can be predictable, you know. I mean, like of course Dragon Ball is not known for having great storytelling, so like it's probably like one of the trashiest stories ever. But it's not, so nothing can ruin it, you know.
I would say the original Dragon Ball is terrible.
Yeah, like there were great moments, you know, but most of the writing was not the greatest, you know. Like its love story writing was garbage, you know. Like Goku and Chi-Chi getting married. I thought that was supposed to be like a nice, sweet little side thing about them. No, it's all about this whole
Goku was just hungry.
No, it's like this whole story of them getting married ends up being, Ox King is stuck in a fire and there's no way to put it out his castle, and it becomes this whole, them getting married becomes this whole like wild goose chase on them, Goku and Chi-Chi finding items to put out the fire, and then so Chi-Chi can get her dress, and then once they put out the fire, she gets her dress. It just cuts to them at the end of the marriage. At the end of the marriage, like, all right, guys, thank you guys for coming. That's it. Like, there was nothing about like their love story. It's just them on an adventure to put out the fire that led up to them getting married.
Well, that's technically what happened.
And then Goku
met.
transformed into a married man.
Wasn't the Ox King's mountain on fire when they first met? She went out and she found Goku, and then they brought Master Roshi to basically
blow it up.
Kamehameha. Yeah. It was a tie back to their first. It was a callback to their very first meeting together.
Yeah, I agree with that. But like the point was like they can't even have a good love story, you know? Like they don't.
What do you mean
instead
they
of
don't have a good love story? It's the best love story I ever heard. Chi-Chi said, "Goku, I love you, kiss me," and Goku punched her in the face. How much better of a love story does it get?
Exactly.
Wonderful.
Thank you for proving my point.
Comparatively with Naruto, the last movie, like there is a way to make a good story like that with a love interest in a shonen anime.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I punch a girl in the face and she becomes obsessed with me, we getting married too. All right.
I don't condone hitting women as a man. Gotta point
But
that
equal
out.
rights, equal fights, bro.
Only
Are you
so-
saying women are less than men?
I don't think this is the podcast for that.
Hang on.
Yeah,
Let me mute myself so I can get.
See
my
Hunter
hand.
real quick.
All right. Let's see. Back to the topic at hand, though. It's nothing can ruin Dragon Ball, but it definitely can make it less appealing as we get older. It's just kind of predictable and repetitive. All these transformations. It's like I thought Super Saiyan 2 should have been the final one, then Super Saiyan 3. Oh, and let's not forget Super Saiyan 4. And they made that canon in Daima. So it's just like, all right, now are they gonna bring Super Saiyan 5 into the light? You know, who knows where the ending on these transformations are?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Hunter. You can go next.
Yeah, I'm actually on the complete opposite spectrum of this. I think that transformations made Dragon Ball. I mean, it's once Goku went Super Saiyan. I mean, even before that with the Kaioken. You know, how many other anime have paid homage in their animes by like, or even cartoons and just everything, media all across the board references transformations in the form of spiky hair and stuff like that. I mean, it's how can you even think of Dragon Ball without transformations at this point? Now, I didn't watch all of Dragon Ball, and I know there are plenty people well respected in the Dragon Ball fandom that say Dragon Ball is the best out of all the Dragon Ball shows, and most notably the guys at Team 4-Star, whose opinions I have high respect for, but I don't think in any way it ruined it. I think it completely amplified it and blew it up and made it into what Dragon Ball is today, which is the GOAT of anime, the greatest of all time.
I like your logic. Not gonna lie.
Alright. So from my point of view, it's kind of an entirely different story at that point. I will have to say that my knowledge of Dragon Ball isn't that great. As far as I know, Daima is a callback to old Dragon Ball anyway. And the difference between them is kind of night and day. We do have the power-ups and stuff like that, but we're looking more at the story, the adventure, meeting new people, seeing new areas, stuff we've never seen before. And yes, we were in Daima, but when you're thinking about it, we see a lot more traveling. We're not just seeing him train, we're seeing him go around and find peculiar items and, again, meeting new people, learning about new creatures, stuff like that. And so, to me, Z and Dragon Ball are entirely two different shows at that point. I won't say it has ruined Dragon Ball, but I don't think we would have. I don't think we would get if we never got Daima. I don't think we ever would have seen another Dragon Ball like show again. I don't think that would have happened. So in that way, it did ruin Dragon Ball, but as a whole, you know, Z Super was pretty great.
Something I really liked. Goku would always find a way to have to beat, in Dragon Ball, find a way to have to beat the next bad guy. And through a lot of that was training. He did find, the Super Kami Water, He did have to get help from Korin. He found different masters to teach him different techniques, different stuff. And then he was always able to beat all of his opponents without transformations at that point. One of my favorite things recently that happened in the Moro arc actually was Vegeta learning a technique that was going to actually be more effective against Moro than just the typical power-up, I'm stronger than you kind of thing. Because they had to come up against an opponent that could drain the energy, right? So it was a technique in that saga for the most part up until the very end that was going to be the actual like nail in the coffin from Moro. So I just always find those kind of like, all right, let's find a different way to take this guy down rather than just instant I'm stronger than you now and then a beat down immediately afterwards, right? Like Gohan against Cell, that was cool. Super Saiyan 2 taking out Cell, the big bad. We're like, we can't possibly beat Cell until this happened. And it was cool, but it wasn't like a typical, how are we going to beat him? It was just like, Gohan's just stronger now, obviously, right? So let's just him do the same thing he was doing before, only stronger. Which, alright, cool, but I wouldn't say it definitely, or it ruined Dragon Ball, right? We all have fond memories of this, but it did seem like there was always, even with Toyotaro taking over with the Moro arc and into Gas and all the heaters, right? Into the Cerulean, what's his name? The green-haired guy?
Green hair. Deku?
Granola?
Yeah, into the Granola arc, right? Just a few things. It seems like they're kind of bringing a few things back, to where it's not all about the transformations and being stronger. But yeah, that's definitely what it turned into for quite some time, and that's why I also kind of like the transformations. At least now we're kind of branching away from each other, right? So it's not like same formula, follow this. All right. Vegeta Super Saiyan 3 now, or I'm sorry, Super Ultra Vegeta, or whatever you call it.
Vegeta 1.
Ultra Vegeta 1. But no, I like this kind of new transformation and different abilities that each fighter is using now, and it's kind of going back to just not a. I mean, it's still transformation to the point to where I'm stronger than you now. But it's more variety, right? It felt pretty stale for a short second, and now variety's kind of making a comeback here. But yeah, I did always enjoy in Dragon Ball, like, that was the whole thing, is you would get stronger, you would go get the Dragon Balls, you'd go on the journey, meet more characters, learn a few things along the way. Alright, now it's Budokai Tenkaichi time. Let's go fight people that are strong, right? That's where you met, like, Nam, that's where you met Tien, Chaozu, all those other characters. And then you're off to go do the next thing again, and then all of a sudden, Demon King Piccolo. How are we going to beat this guy? Well, you got stronger again, had to do impressive feats, right? Something nobody else ever got up to the Korin Tower, right? Except, I think, Mercenary Tao right afterwards. But yeah, Goku had to go and do the unthinkable to obtain the more power without a transformation, and it was always fun that way to see what he had to do.
So, what's your stance? Is it ruining it or not ruining
It was just a question I saw somebody else bring up, and I thought it was a pretty interesting one. I don't think it ruined it, but it definitely. It's like your mom made the super awesome beef and noodle meal that you just absolutely loved, and then you grew up and she's just not around to make you that as often, and you're like, oh well, I can make beef noodles myself, and you're like, it's good, but it's not what it was, right? It's definitely a whole different thing. Even though it's the same, it's entirely different.
Yeah, I definitely see the logic behind that. To kind of add on to that, like I do kind of like not really see, like the thing that pisses me off is like Goku's doing all this training all the time, nonstop. What's up, Super Squad family vlogs and gaming? Welcome in. I already know your question, yo mama, you big troll. Anyways, he's gonna ask, does your mom know you're gay? He asked me that like a couple days ago. But
She does, doesn't she?
Yeah, she knows you're gay, Hunter. Anyways,
How? I thought I
Anyways.
kept that such a good secret.
so like the thing that's like kind of like not really ruined it, but it's like what the fuck to me is like Goku's training, and he through like a lot of training unlocks all these newer, higher, stronger, powerful forms, and then like with each new bad guy, like Frieza has like multiple forms, Cell has multiple forms, but like Jiren, for instance, doesn't really have a form. He's just stronger than gods for no reason, you know? Like Topo stronger, like needed, like he pushed Goku and Vegeta up to Super Saiyan Blue. Dispo like also is as strong with Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue. But like none of these guys have like any forms, you know, like transformations or nothing. Like I wish like some of these like OP guys had like some sort of transformations too, to like at least justify how strong they are, you know. So like it just doesn't make sense to me that they're just that strong for no reason, you know. I mean, like even Golden Frieza is as shitty of a reason why he's like up there with Super Saiyan Blue. Like, or it's not a shitty reason, it's just how he got it was a shitty reason. Oh, let me start training for this first.
For 6 months of training, and he's suddenly god tier.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like at least give them some sort of transformations to like give me a reason why like they're like Goku and them need these reasons to go to these forms. You know.
Yeah. In fact, going off of Golden Frieza's quote unquote training, I was actually I really liked the way that they explained how Tagama got so much stronger while being Frieza's punching bag. I was very satisfied with that explanation. I don't know if y'all remember it.
Oh yeah.
That's why he was able to keep up with Super Saiyan, because he was Frieza's punching bag.
I mean, can you?
Yeah, because
they were all-
Frieza would like beat him, you know, to a pulp until he couldn't do anything, and then the Frieza Force had that like great medical, you know, the chambers heal him overnight, and that over and over and over again until the body, you know, had to adjust. So
Zenkai boost.
essentially,
Yeah, does he have a
But-
Zenkai boost?
well,
Is he a
it's, I mean,
Saiyan? What?
no,
Kidding.
it's
No.
not a Zenkai boost, because that's the same thing that our bodies do. Like when you're in boxing training, one of the things you have to do is you know, you put your arms over your head, and people take turns hitting you on your stomach, and you know, you do that for fucking weeks and weeks, and it sucks, and it makes grown men cry like bitches. But eventually your abs get tougher and tougher and tougher, which is the same thing that I did with my testicles. But you, so yeah, it
Anyway.
toughens you up.
Yeah, I mean, anyways, I agree with like some of that shit. Like Muay Thai, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it. Muay Thai people, they
Muay
kick
Thai.
trees. Muay Thai
Muay Thai?
people,
Muay Thai.
yeah, they kick trees like over and over to like strengthen their shins.
Right.
Cause like and then someone told me like when you like punch stuff, like if you never punch something, it's gonna really hurt your knuckles. You might start bleeding or something. But like over time, when you keep punching shit over and over,
Yep.
your knuckles break down like on the microscopic level, I think he said. And then like
Cellular level.
yeah, they regrow back stronger and tougher and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's the logic he's going with the what is
It evolves. It evolves through regrowth.
Mm-hmm.
Your DNA will change itself. Your DNA will rewrite it. when it regrows those cells that you destroyed, because it sees this as something that has to change in order for your survival, as long as you maintain that punishment on your body.
Yeah, so we all technically have a Zenkai boost, just like the Zenkai boost is what we have
the
times like,
Saiyans is like way
1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like times 1,000.
Yeah.
Alright, anyone wanna like see? So Hunter's stance is it's what made Dragon Ball.
It's yeah.
Seven Ninja, your stance was I forgot your stance, my bad.
They're entirely two different anime types. Like one's about power scaling, the other one's about
Also, you could say that it transformed
but it's more of an
Dragon Ball.
adventure.
Okay, hang on.
Out of here. But one's
Different writing
about
techniques.
power scaling, and one's about like there you go, Rockstrap. One's about power scaling. One's about like it's kind of like Legend of Zelda. You get new items and you go to new locations. You might have to backtrack, but you're getting better through getting new things. And so one's an adventure story, and one is a power battle action kind of anime. So it ruined Dragon Ball in that way, I guess. Rockstrap.
I think the show could have probably survived without transformations. The problem was with the first transformation, then you have the ability going forward to create more transformations just to write yourself out of a sticky situation. I do enjoy when it was a little bit more each scenario kind of needed a different solution, right, in order to get through that fight. Like all of Baba's fighters, right? You had the Invisible Man. I think it was Master Roshi's bloody nose that he got from Bulma doing whatever she did. That got onto the fighter for Krillin to be able to see him. You know, that's different than the ninja that Goku had to fight when one of the red ribbon towers that he had to get through with the ninja guy. He like poured or he had the power pull for one. Anyway, each fight, you know, was different and it was fun and it was written differently, and it was a good time to see how he would be each individual different fighter versus just transforming into the next power, you know, tier and fighting and beating him that way. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
I completely agree with that, Brockstrap. As far as like writing, as far as from a writer's standpoint, it certainly took away a lot of the story and the, you know, the cleverness to the writing.
Right.
I do have a sort of answer for why Dragon Ball made that shift. It's not just the transformations, but I sent it in our Instagram group chat, which I just had to scroll up for like 30 minutes looking for it because Ninja just went straight crazy, sharing everything on his timeline to the Bros Code. But
You don't need to see it.
I'll read it out loud. It's Akira Toriyama himself. And I think that, okay, so it looks like, okay, here's the quote. I had figured that my only option was focusing on battles, but it's not like I thought about how the story would develop next. And so at some point during Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama kind of backseated himself when it came to story writing and was only focused on the fighting.
Yeah, I think
So-
I think that tired.
Don't get me
him
wrong.
out.
So
And it looks
writing.
like, yeah,
bad
it
writing?
seems like Transformations was Akira Toriyama's tool, you could say, of allowing himself to take that backseat from the story and to only focus on the fighting.
Yeah, I think that tired him out because, like, I know in the Boo Saga, he said the only way he agreed to doing the Boo Saga was if he was allowed to do it his own way. That's why it was like kind of goofy and
Yeah, he tried to ruin it.
Like it wasn't as like it didn't feel like Cell Saga and Namek Saga. You know, it was more goofy and like random parts of goofiness that had like that was felt misplaced and shit like that.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I love the transformations too. Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, God, all these. I'm always excited to see what the next one might look like, and especially again with all the variation going on now between Gohan, between Piccolo, Goku, Vegeta, with all the new stuff coming out. It's cool to see that variation. So you're not just like, oh, okay, well, when does Vegeta get that? You know, like. It's always interesting. Now it feels like a kind of a different, like an extra, like a breath of life has been breathed back into it to some degree. Just not quite the same. But yeah,
Right.
it's definitely.
Now, since you brought up,
I enjoyed it before, and yeah, it's definitely different. I wouldn't say it ruined Dragon Ball, but it definitely, like, ninjas had turned it into a different animal. So.
right. Agreed. So since you brought up everyone having their own unique transformations, Brockstrap, as our Pokemon expert, how did you feel about Vegeta turning into a shiny Pokemon in the Tournament of Power?
I mean, it's all you could say that Super Saiyan Blue is a shiny form of Goku, right? Like, it's the same look. It's just a palette swap.
Yeah, no, I just got shiny Pokemon vibes when he broke that form out, especially the eyes.
We talking about
Are you
Super
talking
Saiyan
like
Blue
the
Evolution?
Blue Evolution? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, when he fought when he decimated God of Destruction Topo.
I mean, if we were going with that logic, his outfit would have changed as well. It might have been like his armor would have went from like white to blue. Maybe his tracksuit, right, would have went from blue to red. His hair would have went green. Like, it's a full fucking palette swap, not just like the same color but a bit darker some places.
Gotcha.
I
Wait,
don't
so
know, I enjoyed
Pokemon wear clothes?
I was like, well, I mean, not clothes. I'm just saying, like, the whole aesthetic changes. So, like, with Vegeta wearing clothes, I mean, unless you're Garchomp or Gengar, like, they're Chinese, But, like, I'm just talking, like, the whole body palette swap. So, since Vegeta does wear clothes, that's why I was pointing out his clothes to change colors. I do have to give my children a bath now, so I might be dipping.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Yeah,
Thanks
check
for
it out.
stopping by. Plug your socials one last time.
I will, and I'll try not to, here, let me close the chat tab. That way I'm not... So let's go ahead here.
Wow, Jack, you said that.
Right. Rockstrat55 is here where I'm at. Do a lot of, like Hunter was saying, Pokemon stuff. We have a good time over there. I do some of my own stuff, and I also collab with Squall over here. He's been so gracious. I want to say thanks, dude. Everything that you've been doing is helping out other people along the way. And I'm glad to see you successful, and I was glad to see my Iron Gains point you out. That was pretty cool. So, definitely good dude over here overall. Been helping me out. And again, Pokemon's what I've been doing. And yeah, it's a good time. Come check some of my stuff out. And check a lot of his stuff out too. So,
Thanks for the
we
shout out,
will
Brock.
see you probably next Thursday. Hopefully. Hopefully I don't get out of work at like 8:30 again. That was terrible. But we'll see ya.
Alright, later, Brock. Make sure everyone in the chat go check him
Later.
out. Peace.
Peace.
Alright, 7 Ninja, your topic time. Also, I wanted to give one final reminder. Chat's kind of died a little bit, but if anyone is still there, we are still waiting on a topic from the chat to possibly debate about. Go ahead, 7 Ninja.
I guess. I don't know if we've talked about this, but how do you feel the Tournament of Power would have turned out had Frieza not been there and instead Majin Buu was there?
Oof.
Because Frieza is now stronger than Majin Buu with the golden shower form, right?
Wow. Turning into Hunter again, early.
Golden Frieza?
Yeah.
Golden shower? I mean, he can't give a golden shower. He doesn't even have a way to pee.
You
done lost
get
him.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, Ninja, did you want to go first on that?
I'm just wondering. That was a statement. It's not really a debate. I just want to know where you guys are gonna go. So we'll start with no one
You
else
know
said?
what? I'm gonna say
Cool.
they
Lay it on me.
lose. I'm gonna say they lose, bro. Because the final moment was Goku, 17, and Frieza at the end. Frieza and Goku, they had to team up to take out Jiren, like kamikaze him at the end. I mean, like I'm arguing Majin Buu doesn't make it that far to the end, you know. Frieza does, 17 does. I don't know how 17 got that strong in the beginning in the first place, training with some animals, but that's neither here or there. Like if it was just Goku and Android 17, I can't say that they would make it that far, you know. Like teaming up against Jiren, like I think they really needed Frieza as that wild card to like help out in kamikaze Jiren at the end. So I'd say they lose if it was Majin Buu instead.
Hold on.
I disagree.
You don't think that Majin Buu couldn't have got a candy shot on Jiren? I mean, there's nothing saying Jiren wouldn't take the hit because he thinks it's nothing. Gets hit by it, turns into candy. Like, we're talking about magic. Magic's not unallowed. Anything's allowed as long as they don't die. Turn most of these guys, eat them, spit them out later. You know? You don't think that could have happened?
And it's the thing about the candy move, for me, it's like, okay, it worked on Vegito, who was like by a landslide stronger than the Buu that he was fighting. So you want to say it doesn't matter how much stronger the person is, then if the attack works on them, they're going to be affected. But at the same time, when Hit used time skip or whatever on Jiren was able to just break through it, right? And then their dumbass explanation was Jiren is stronger than time. Like, fucking whatever, dude. Just tell me you suck at writing. But so, I mean, I don't agree that we would have lost if it was Buu instead of Frieza. I mean, for one, Frieza and Goku teaming up at the end, it's Vegeta and Goku could have done the same thing. From what we know about Vegeta and Goku and Frieza, we all know that Toriyama hates Vegeta, so that's why it went down the way it did. But also, I think Buu being in the tournament would have actually would have gained us a lot of traction way quicker. I mean, Buu stated when he wanted to go in, he said, "I'm doing this for Hercule." Like, he was motivated to win that tournament. And Buu, like, with the hacks he has, with the durability he has, I mean, how many people there were even at Super Saiyan 3 level? And, you know, how many attacks were we actually able to do damage to Majin Buu on? I think Buu would have been a fucking menace in that tournament. He probably would have been near MVP. I think he would have went around shoving motherfuckers off. He can stretch his body and all that, you know. He would have grabbed them with his hands and just tossed them off. Plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know. I mean, I'm thinking Boo would have been a much better pick than Frieza. I think that's why they chose him before they chose Frieza.
You know what? This feels like a situation like why is Flash always killed off in some of these movies? And it's like his powers are way too overpowered that you kind of have to do some bad writing to get him out of the story because it makes no sense why he would lose. And it feels very similar why Majin Buu's not there. If this dude had candy beamed everybody, forget about slinging him out. Candy beamed everybody, that would have been over within the first 5 minutes. Guarantee. And I guarantee you, he would have went after Jiren at some point.
I don't think he would pose much of a threat to Jiren. Spoilers for anyone who hasn't read the manga, but who's the Planet Eater? Is that Moro or is that Granola?
Moro is the Planet Eater.
So like during that like Majin Buu was brought back into that fight, and the Kai that's in him like reemerges and fights Moro, and states that when Kid Buu and Fat Buu split apart, or Evil Buu and Fat Buu split apart, Evil Buu took most of the power. So it's not the same Majin Buu that fought Majin Vegeta that has all that amazing durability and strength and power. I mean, he's still super strong, don't get me wrong, but it's not the same one that we saw in the Buu arc. And what's it called? Like, cause Kid Buu mollywopped him, who was like stronger than Super Saiyan 3, but that's like not saying much anymore once we got to Super with Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue and shit. So he's not as strong as like I would say Majin Buu is weaker than Goku Super Saiyan 3 for sure at this point.
Yeah, you made a video on that, but I would also still like to point out that perhaps aside from Hit, Buu, no one from Universe 6 is beating Buu.
Yeah, so
and that's one of the key universes in the tournament.
I agree with that, but like when you get to the final stages with all the strong people that Gohan needed Mystic Gohan for, Goku needs Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue for, Majin Buu's not touching any one of them. He's like, he can probably turn Jiren, maybe. I'd argue Jiren's like dodges any of his candy beams, and if he does, he's still gonna like destroy Majin Buu even as a candy form.
I disagree, because the way I'm seeing it is that, okay, we beat Jiren by grabbing him and jumping off the edge. Okay, if Gohan says, Buu, if you jump off the edge with Jiren, we win the tournament, Buu's just gonna he's gonna mold his body around Jiren, and Goku's gonna kick them both off. That's the way I see that going.
Solid strategy. I just don't see it happening. If he like wraps himself around Jiren, I think Jiren just busts right through him, no problem.
Well, he didn't do that to Super Saiyan 1 and Final Form Frieza.
That's because he was like on like his last 1% battery. I don't think Majin Buu makes it that far until when Jiren's on his last 1% battery. I think he gets knocked out.
If you don't think he makes it that far, who do you think eliminates Buu?
Let's see. Kefla could have. What's his name? Hit could have. Like a lot of the whatever Jiren, like Dispo could have beaten him. I think that giant robot would have like put in a good work. One where Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, I think one more person had to all team up against to beat that giant robot. I can't remember all the people from Tournament Power. There's a lot of people.
I think 18 beat it.
18?
Yeah,
I think 18 beats
like
it.
alone.
18 beats the robot.
There's someone that the like 3 and maybe one other person had to like do a combined Kamehameha Masenko Gallic gun against. I forget who.
River Yan fights somebody too.
Goku.
I still think 18. I think 18. 18 beats the robot with the. I think they have to help her at some point, but she's the one that actually beats him. 17. Doesn't 17 fight somebody before Jiren that he beats?
Yeah, 17 and 18 were teaming up against someone. They had some pretty cool moments together. When they were explaining that they have infinite stamina because they're androids. It was, I think it was somebody that had like a energy absorbing technique, and they were fighting, you know, one of our guys, and then 18 and 17 came in and said, hey, we got this. And that was the whole, we have infinite stamina, you can't drain our energy. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm thinking of Bergamo, and I think
Well, I know I'm not going to get their
I know
name.
Goku beat him in that pre-tournament. I'm thinking of the Blue Wolf dude, and I think they were fighting the wolves. Matter of fact, but we know Goku has already beat the leader of the Three Wolves thing.
I'm trying to find a picture real quick.
Hold on, Tien lasted a long time, and Tien shouldn't have. Honestly, though, Tien played a stupid move there because he could have just stayed as left.
He certainly
left
could
his
have
main
jumped
body
off with one of his clones and then just dissipated his clones to back to his original body on the platform.
That was dumb.
But that was,
Krillin
and
got knocked
once
off.
again, that's Akira Toriyama. You know, we see a lot of Vegeta hate from Akira Toriyama, but also we see a lot of Tien hate, and a lot of people because Tien is Chinese.
Yeah. Then you have Krillin he got knocked off, and I think they wanted to say it was because he got cocky or something, but honestly, I don't feel like Krillin should have got knocked off then. There were other times he could have got knocked off. I just don't think it should have been then.
Damn, there was a picture.
Gohan knocks off Dispo. I think that Dispo could have done it, but then again, I also think that
I think Dispo could have beat Boo.
would have grabbed him. I think Dispo would have grabbed him. Frieza, I could see him reacting faster, but I think Boo might enjoy just getting flung like that, and so he may just like let it happen. That also depends on how locked in Boo is, though, because we know Boo can be serious. So I think Dispo could potentially run him off, but I also think like Dispo is also like way too slow. So
I mean, like I said,
breaking the cell.
Boo was determined. You know, when he, you know, he said he wanted to win it for Hercule, and that's Boo's biggest motivation. So I think he's locked in the whole time. I also don't see any like way Dispo can grab Boo. I mean, even if he gets a hold of Boo, Boo can just morph his body, you know, out of any kind of hold.
Yeah. That was something I was thinking about too, because since he can take himself apart at any moment, like that could have just easily dropped off, and Dispo could have grabbed him, and it broke off right then and there anyway. So
yeah, and I mean, even if he starts having fun getting flung around, if he gets flung off the platform, Boo can stretch his arm and grab the platform. You know, he can pull a Luffy from One Piece. So there's that.
How did Piccolo get knocked off?
Don't remember.
Because Piccolo has that stretchy armness.
Yeah,
He just doesn't have
and he
his
even
body. He
used
has
it
the stretchy
in the
arm.
tournament. Would have been fun to see Giant Piccolo versus that giant robot.
There was one scene. I can't find it online, but I remember seeing it in a meme. It was pretty funny. It was like, dude, like Frieza, Android 17 and Android 18 have no business looking this cool, and it's just them standing around in the tournament power, like I think Frieza's just like smug, cross arms, and then like one of them is like sitting down, knee up, like looking all hard. All three of them were looking all hard together. So it's kind of a funny point, but if there's Frieza instead of Majin Buu in there, I don't think that picture would have turned out that cool.
Skinny Boo would have been something to see. I wonder how Skinny Boo works versus Fat Boo. Like, we like that's an entirely different.
Yeah,
guy
I mean,
at
he
that point. I wonder
trained
what
to
that looks
get
like.
that body. So, I mean, I would imagine at least a speed buff comes with the skinny version.
Yeah, I definitely think he would have been stronger than Fat Boo for sure. Just I don't think he would have been that much stronger compared to like Super Saiyan
I
God.
think I see Fat Boo in this one. They're not dead when he eats them, and I could totally see Fat Boo eating a lot of the fighters there. Again, they could just tell him, "Hey, they're just residing within him. He's not actually. They're not actually dead." And that would probably be explained pretty early because again, remember the Potara earrings should not have been allowed, but they were. And so, as long as there's an explanation or Zeno thinks it's fun, Boo could have been there. So I actually do foresee turning them into candy or eating them outright, like he does with Gotenks in them. I see that happening. I'm assuming cold sauce, or you, Squall? What y'all got to say?
That was me. So actually, they did die when he ate them. Like, cause remember he ate Dabura as a cookie, and he goes to heaven. He turns into that nice angel guy, and then he ate like when Subaru like did that scream and got out of the hyperbolic time chamber. He like ate like all their family and friends, and then they all got sent to like the afterlife afterwards. So he can't.
What
he
about
turn them
Boo
into?
Tanks and Buhan?
But he absorbed them.
Because that's
He
a different
absorbed
scenario.
them. He absorbed them.
Yeah.
He didn't.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you talking about absorb like the?
That's what I'm saying.
Not. I thought you were talking about Candy Beam
Yeah.
eat them or something.
Okay, I found Piccolo
I feel like it's like,
getting
as long as it
eliminated. I put it in the chat.
Wait, hang on. What'd you say, 7 Ninja?
I feel like it would be the same. It depends on how you eat them, right? So, like, if he bit them in half, they technically got bit. They got bit in half, so yeah, they'd be dead. But if he just straight up swallowed them or absorbed them through the gum way, then they should still be alive.
Yeah, the gum way is the way how they that doesn't kill them. But Candy Beam eat them dead. All right, what were you saying, Hunter?
I put it in the chat. Piccolo getting eliminated from the tournament.
Was it the tiny guy? The invisible guy? I'm pretty sure it was the
It's
tiny
a video.
invisible
It's
guy.
1 minute and 30 seconds. You can stream it.
I already got hit with the third-party warning content. I don't want to chance it again.
Well, for some reason, I can't get it to play on my phone.
I'll just look it up how he got defeated. How did
Okay, no, it's playing. I'm watching it right now.
defeated in tournament?
Batman.
I'm pretty sure it was the tiny guy. He was defeated
What
by
the fuck?
Dalmon from Universe 4. Surprising move. Dalmon, being much smaller and faster, was able to attack from behind, knock Piccolo off the edge. Yeah.
Well, goddamn. I'm watching it.
little guy.
He's standing right next to the edge when it happened.
It feels like very much like a Krillin situation. They just had to throw him out.
Yeah, it was kind of dumb, bro. It's like Goku beats him by being able to sense him, and like Piccolo should
and
be able
Piccolo
to have the
was
same
sensing him.
power.
No, yeah, Piccolo, I just watched him. He kind of started meditating, and then he throws a little a backhand, and he's already standing next to the edge, and so I guess he misses or whatever, and the dude comes up behind Piccolo and knocks him right off.
Piccolo's the one character this should not have worked on.
Yeah,
Right?
out of everyone.
He's the positional awareness king. How do you think he Orifarm so much?
I agree with that. Mr. Blow up the hyperbolic time chamber because he realized Gotenks wasn't the answer. Super Boo. Alright, let's see. So let's get back to the matter at hand. So why were you guys bringing up Piccolo for like the Majin Buu part? I was kind of like looking for the
because he can stretch his arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like if you knock him off, like he should just be able to grab the platform on his way down.
Were you guys like relating that to Majin Buu because he could stretch too or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely make it harder.
I can see Majin Buu being saving his team too. I can see Majin Buu grabbing his team is about to fall off as well. A lot of quick saves.
Oh, definitely.
I don't really have much else to say. I just know I personally think they would lose unless like I mean they could always just write some other way for like them to win if it was Majin Buu instead of Frieza. You know, like Frieza or Vegeta actually doesn't get knocked out. He somehow stays in and comes in at the end instead of Frieza or something. You know.
I mean, that's
Goku
what I
and-
feel like would happen. If Buu were to get knocked out, it would be Vegeta that would be there. It would make sense that way.
Yeah. And plus, it would have went with the story greatly because Whis had already foreshadowed more than once in Dragon Ball Super that if Goku and Vegeta teamed up and actually worked together, they could possibly defeat Beerus. So showcasing that against Jiren would have just, it would have tied that together.
Okay. Alright. We're kind of running to the end. Do we want to go over Bulldozer's topic real quick? He said Frieza or Vegeta for next God of Destruction. Like if we had to, I'm thinking if we had to pick one,
Only
it'd be
those
like
two?
only those two.
Yeah.
Between those two.
I mean, I've got my answer and a reason for it.
Alright, let me play segment 3 real.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Welcome
Let's see.
back. Alright, go ahead, Hunter. So the topic is Frieza or Vegeta as God. Who would make the next God of Destruction? Just between those two. And go ahead, Hunter.
Frieza or Vegeta for who makes the next God of Destruction. I absolutely have to give it to Vegeta because the God of Destruction has to he has to go by whatever the angel that is overseeing him, he has duties. A God of Destruction has duties. He has a job, and Frieza isn't gonna do that. So I mean, by that logic alone, we know Vegeta will put his own desires and pride aside for things. I can't recall any specific duties, but we've seen him put things aside for his loved ones like Bulma and Trunks. So I can't even imagine Frieza being granted that title by Whis because Frieza would never submit to anyone.
He's literally plotting against the gods and angels right now.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's a fair point. Frieza, the only person Frieza submits to would be Beerus. But if he's the god of destruction, like who would be he submit to? Would it be Whis? Man, Zeno maybe?
I mean, he wouldn't. Like, as soon as he found out that he can control Hakai energy, he wanted to use that tournament to fucking destroy the gods and become emperor of the Omniverse. So I don't see it. I don't see it going to Frieza. And not to mention, a god of destruction destroys things out of a duty versus Frieza being god of destruction. He would just go around destroying everything. It would not be for the betterment of the universe, which is part of the god of destruction being a thing. It's a way to regulate the universe when things need to be destroyed so they can be rebuilt. Frieza wouldn't be adhering to that.
You got that from my video I made.
Well, I mean, I agreed with what you said, but that is my personal opinion on it.
Yeah, Frieza, like as the god of destruction, you're supposed to destroy like things that can be a menace to the universe, that can disrupt the hormonal balance of the universe. And if Frieza would be the god of destruction, he would be the hormonal imbalance to the universe, destroying shit, whatever the fuck he wants. It feels like.
Unless you're Beerus.
No, and I mean, look,
planets because they weren't cooking good enough food.
Well, he went to those planets to judge them, and then judged them harshly. But
on their food.
But like, you know, but like, look at Frieza has destroyed. He destroyed the Saiyan, the planet Vegeta, because Saiyans might be stronger than him one day. You know, like, it's just, it's not. He's. There's not a lot of purpose behind what he does, and a god of destruction has a purpose, so it doesn't make much sense.
The original reasoning behind it, but then once Super was introduced, they changed it to Beerus actually ordered Frieza to destroy planet Vegeta, which is pretty crazy because like there's that whole Super Saiyan.
It was a dumb
Frieza.
retcon.
Yeah. Frieza was scared of the Super Saiyan legend. I was perfectly fine with that idea. I like that idea better, to be honest.
It makes sense for an emperor too, an evil one.
But yeah, like given that, like Beerus.
I think we should switch this to Piccolo versus Vegeta.
Piccolo versus Vegeta. My choice. My choice
straight to Piccolo.
My choice is Vegeta, Frieza though. Like due to the fact that he was able to control Hakai energy, like without any special training or anything. Like I think that's like it shows that he has promised to become a god of destruction, if anything. And like due to the fact that Beerus is like he's also destroying shit.
Vegeta did as well.
He feels like Beerus destroys shit just because he feels like it. So Frieza can have some sort of a leeway to kind of do whatever he wants if he becomes god of destruction as well.
But Squall, Vegeta also was doing the same thing with Hakai energy when he fought god of destruction Toppo.
Bro, like, are you serious?
Dude.
Vegeta punched through Toppo's destruction energy.
Yeah, punched right through it.
I feel like that's a little different though. Like
I didn't see what Frieza did with the Hakai energy as anything different than like when someone shoots a ki blast at you and you deflect it out of the way.
No, this was actually different. Frieza was like caught in the Hakai, And he was like,
Right.
at first he was like, ah, and then he was like, nah, I'm just kidding. And then he shrinks it and controls
And he
it.
manipulated it. Right.
Yeah,
He
he
manipulated it to his will, which is exactly what you're doing to key energy when you deflect it. You're manipulating it from the original caster's will to your own will. You're taking control of it and making it do what you want it to do.
I mean, yeah, you could say he did the same
If you
thing as
weren't
key
able
energy.
to do that, then when you went to deflect it, it would just blow up on your hand and hurt you.
I mean,
right?
I agree with you. It does feel the same as like deflecting a key blast, but that just kind of adds to my point on he's able to do that with Hakai energy. Like, that's a pretty crazy, amazing feat for Frieza to do.
I would say having the ability to do something but still being a bad god of destruction. Like, I consider Beerus to be a bad god of destruction on the mere fact that he just destroys planets because they don't cook good food. Now, obviously that is some exaggeration because I'm sure he does do his job. But then again, he did not handle Majin Buu, and he did not handle Frieza, and he let the Saiyans go to Frieza. So, therefore, and thanks for coming by anyway, Jennifer. And so I would say that Beerus is a bad example. But even then, if we're talking about the objective, who would do a better job, I feel like that would still go to Vegeta, simply because Vegeta is willing. Like, if we said it's laid out to him, this is what a god of destruction does. I feel Vegeta would follow that completely. He's not. He's king of all Saiyans, but it's king of like what three Saiyans now. So something like this is like a high calling. He's gonna care about, the fact that he was given this job. I'm reminded of like Beerus is saying because we used to ask like why not Gohan. He was like he's too straight laced. Vegeta is not too straight laced. Like Vegeta is a more level headed. Has the power, but it was more level headed and able to handle the job in a more objective way. I think his greatest thing he'll have to overcome overall is going to be his pride, but I don't think pride will be a big issue in him doing the job.
I think his pride would inflate if he became the god of destruction. I mean, even when he was fighting Beerus, he said, I'll take some pride in the fact that it took the god of destruction to take me down. And Beerus said, that's a fine way to rationalize your death. You'll die with your honor intact.
You know what? I thought of a good reason why Frieza could possibly be better than Vegeta. He's ruled already as an emperor of like the universe. He has. Oh God, bro! I'm muting this guy.
Beat that man.
All right. I think he muted himself. Anyways. Freaking. So since Frieza has prior experience of ruling people, and given it might be under fear and shit, he has like experience of being like in a high title, and he has experience of bowing under Beerus, and doing Beerus's bidding, destroying. Well, it was kind of an ass pull of a reason, destroying Planet Vegeta because of Beerus, So if he was the god of destruction, I'm arguing, instead of Beerus being on top of him, it's Zeno. Like he's gonna bow to Zeno's will.
I mean, you could say Nappa was Vegeta's underling, but I would more focus on the fact that Beerus doesn't have any direct underlings either. So, like, Frieza being a leader, so to speak, it doesn't. To me, it's not a good argument.
Well, I mean, it's more of the fact that it's not really the
One thing
underling.
we can
He's like, he understands hierarchy, like people under him, people above him, type of thing. Seven Ninja, go ahead.
One thing we can say is we've never actually seen a world Frieza has taken over and ran, besides the Saiyans. And the Saiyans are a warrior race, so that's entirely different. So I would love to see how Frieza runs some planets. But I think inherently by being an emperor, if you see that something is stronger, now maybe he makes alliances, maybe he, you know, just tries to find some way to handle it peacefully. But the thing about Frieza is his ego tells him, if this thing is stronger than me, I either overcome it or I destroy it before it happens. And I could totally see Frieza having an issue with Goku and Vegeta or someone like them trying to get stronger. And I could also see him trying to overcome the other gods of destruction. In this case, he would be the strongest. So I would see him trying to overcome the angels and Zeno, and he would eventually get squashed by Zeno if he doesn't act in time.
And that's also an inevitable thing that would happen, which would be a reason that they wouldn't choose him as the god of destruction in the first place.
And you got the Oracle Fish. Yeah, that's happening right today.
You might have to. I'm giving him a little bit more credit because he does have brownie points for all the teamwork he did in the Tournament of Power. Like, I think he might have some sort of sense of being a good guy, a little bit, just a tiny bit that can be exposed, you know.
It feels similar to
Without
the
that
relationship
teamwork,
between Batman and
Frieza
the
wasn't
Joker.
going to be able to get what he wanted. It was never about teaming up. It was never about being or showing like a good guy in Frieza. It was just a simple fact that he couldn't beat Jiren on his own.
What about when he
Even
fought
to the
against
bitter
Frost?
end.
So Frieza gets humbler. Frieza gets humbler, but he's not fully humbled. He's humbler. He's willing to train. He's willing to work with Goku if he needs to. Villains of the past are willing to do that. But when it comes down to it, he is still Frieza. He is still that guy ready to destroy the monkeys, if you will, at any given moment in time. And so that's...
Frieza,
I
even
don't
to
think
the
Frieza's
bitter
easy.
end in the tournament, when he was doing that clash with Jiren, and then Goku stepped in, that was Goku, you know, being the showing the positive in that. Frieza was just trying to do everything on his own, despite the fact that he couldn't. His ego was clouding his judgment.
He did give Goku some energy when he was down for the count to revive him somewhat. He teamed up with Gohan to fight against Frost. He was going to dispose of Gohan if Gohan didn't see through his plan. But there's some other good moments.
He is a
in there.
strategist, though. He's a strategist. 100%, we can always say Frieza is a strategist. And so I still doubt the goodness in there because he's still thinking, like, I need to use this one in order to get this way, and I need to use Goku in order to win this. If he already knows he cannot win that fight, he's going to work with anyone he can to win this because, again, if his universe gets destroyed, he's gone. He loses everything.
In fact, him admitting that he would have disposed of Gohan proves that there's only selfish intent, because he's only willing to use you on his own terms. He's not willing to actually team up with anyone. He's willing to have you do what he says.
I would argue Vegeta and Goku are also like selfish in their own way too. Then, because like they only care about getting stronger. The whole Tournament of Power was because Goku just wanted to be stronger. That's the whole reasoning behind it. Like Goku and Vegeta didn't really care about teamwork or nothing either. They went off on their own way in the beginning. And like they were like everyone else was like, no, we gotta stick together. And Goku, like Vegeta was like, nah, we doing our own thing, bruh.
Leroy Jenkins.
Cold Sauce, you know what this feels like? This
What's
feels
up?
like a Goku the bad dad moment.
Oh yeah, just
This is
stubborn,
just like
just
one of those.
stubbornness. Yeah.
It felt just like that, bro. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I see every point you're making, and they're all such valid points that the only way that I can continue to argue is to just be stubborn.
I agree with you guys. I'm being stubborn here. However, you guys are delusional on that. Goku's bad dad argument.
Yeah, but he does not. That is delusional. You're right. But
Yeah, and you definitely should arrest your case.
Delusional ass motherfuckers, bro.
Ninja, did you see that in the chat?
what did he say?
Squall
In the
said
Discord chat?
he said some stuff like trying to say why Goku wasn't a bad dad, and then he says arrest my case instead of I rest my case, and so like you're under arrest, and so I put you should arrest your case because it's criminal to be that dumb.
Yeah. You gotta be talking about yourself sometimes, honey. I swear to God.
Oh no, I think I'd be a great dad.
That's crazy.
Nah, the criminal to be that dumb part. You projecting over there?
No comment.
We. Thank God.
Alright.
We
honestly,
are.
if I had to choose. Yeah, it's about time we wrap up. So let's plug our socials, announcements one last time, and outro question. Let's go with the opposite of Rockstrap. Who's the worst character of the Tournament of Power, or the guy you didn't like the most?
I bet me and Ninja got the same answer.
Alright, so I am Squall Rush, gaming addict, anime nerd, Dragon Ball Z fanatic, all that good stuff. I should have recorded another DBZ sessions video. I had one in mind from one of our past debates. But I'm out of time now. Anyways, hit the link tree. It should be in the description if you want to follow my other platforms. Or it should be in my bio. One of those. Other than that, no new announcements coming out. Worst character to me was probably that chick who went from somewhat decent looking to a fat chick and was deeming it beautiful and for love.
Rebrianne.
Yeah, I thought that shit was so fucking annoying, bro. Like, I was expecting so much more. You gave her this body shaming form, Anyways, I don't want to get too political. All right, take it away, Seven Ninja.
Oh, talking about that. I am 7ninja7. You can find my Game Jolt, Beauty, and Rumble. Again, we did that anime review of campfire cooking in another world. So check that out. Outside of that, my least favorite character of the Tournament of Power has to go to, you know what? It's Krillin. And the only reason it's Krillin is because of with all his OP abilities, especially that 100 times solar flare. I think he used it one time on a blind guy. Like, do you realize how strong Krillin should be if he just used his abilities, bro? Oh my god, dude.
Holy shit, you ain't
Krillin
lying.
always the piss out of me. He always the piss out of me, bro, because he's so overpowered. He's got all the good stuff.
A Krillin and TN team up, solar flare, then Trigon, Tri-beam. Holy shit.
Kiko.
Yeah.
Oh.
Kiko, go
let's
fuck
go.
yourself. Yeah. Okay, so you're going with Krillin. Alright. I'm Secret Code Sauce. You can find me on TikTok, Twitch, and Rumble. And I'm gonna. Oh, by the way, if you liked the stream tonight and you want to support us, throwing a like on the video is completely free. It doesn't take a whole second of your time. But other than that, I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. Rebrianne, I hated her. But since that was already taken. I really do have a lot of hate for Dispo, especially the way he was written. I mean, him being able to hear your muscles before you start moving and everything. It's like we're moving faster than the speed of sound anyway. That doesn't make any sense at all. So everything about Dispo
Sounds
was
like Count the
so
Bird.
stupid. Yeah, it was just so stupid.
He can see faster.
But yeah, I really did hate Red Brienne, not just because of how aggravating she was, but also the fucking trying to call her beautiful and everything. It's like, dude, you're a fat, ugly fucking heifer. Like, there's nothing beautiful about you. I'm not about to sit here and be swayed. You know what it was? It was war politics getting into Dragon Ball Z, which is why everybody hated her. Sick of this shit. And there's no reason to lie to ourselves and say that a fucking heifer is a beautiful woman, no matter what universe she's from. It looks terrible. Nobody wants to stick their dick in that. It stinks. So, yeah, either Red Brienne, either Red Brienne or Dispo for me. Squall, check the chat. The Discord chat.
What chat? Which one?
The one we're on, the podcast.
The Piccolo one?
No, what I put right above it.
Oh, nah, I gotta go. I've been lazy on the gym. I gotta go hit the gym after this.
Alright.
Alright. Alrighty, peeps. Well, thank you all for tuning in. It was a good one. Thank the viewers. Thank the panel for being here. Hope to see you all in the next one. Yeah. And let's see. Let's raid the homie Endendo. It's been a while since I raided him. I've seen any of his.
Goku's a bad dad.
And 7 Ninjas Delusional. Alright, later, peeps. I'll catch you all next time. Deuces.